welcome back to your one and only source. We're your hosts.
My name is Phoebe.
And my name is Caroline. And today we are recapping one of the great Gossip Girl episodes. Season 1, episode 9.
Blair Waldorf Must Pie.
Not die. Pie. Guys, I'm so scared of Phoebe right now. I literally just accidentally started to say the title of the episode and I just felt the daggers shooting through me from Nashville, Tennessee, from through the computer screen. Phoebe was looking at me like, we're going to do this again? We're going to do this again? 2 weeks in a fucking row? Not to mention, she's mad. She's fuming because I was really hoping I was going to be the first one in the studio today, and I wasn't. And it's because I got on right at 1 on the dot. And she was like, we have to start at exactly 1 because I'm having a Super Bowl party today. And it's like, well, 1, like, this isn't a sports podcast. I don't give a fuck. And number 2, Phoebe, you can't be mad at me. You can't hit me, okay? I've earned a lot of goodwill with you. I started my own freaking show, okay, to save the podcast. Like, I've earned a lot of goodwill with you. And I'm just saying, you're not allowed to yell at me or be surly for at least a week.
Guys, I wasn't mad or surly.
Okay, well, Phoebe, it's not a video podcast, so they didn't see that you were actually holding a dagger. And I didn't want to say this part. It was bloody already. So I'm like, Phoebe, what? Phoebe, show me the room behind you.
How good was my text last night that Happy Dagger would have been such a good band name for like an emo 2000s.
You know what? I missed that text. Did you send that to me?
In the Loud Girls.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Phoebe and I were up until the early hours of the morning trading conspiracies. So it must have gotten lost in between all the videos of the most...
Anthony and I were discussing how on earth Shakespeare in Love is Gwyneth Paltrow's Oscar. Or anybody's for that matter.
You know, I don't even know that I've seen the movie Shakespeare in Love, but I was in the play, so that counts for something.
Yeah. It's leaving Netflix soon, so I had that on while I was doing stuff last night.
Never forget when I was in the play Shakespeare in Love and the set fell down during the show.
And it wasn't the play that goes wrong.
And it was not the play that goes wrong. This had literally never happened before. And it wasn't a rinky-dink theater, let me tell you. And I know there are people listening who were involved with the show or saw it at least.
Sabotage?
No, I don't think it was sabotage, but I am just saying, like, the set fell down during the show. And it was the night Liney was there. It was the night Liney was there, and we had to pause the show and, like, stop the show so that we could fix the set. And if I remember correctly, Liney left during this break because it was just, like, taking too long. And I think I met up with her after, and if Liney's listening, I'm sure I'll hear about if that's not what happened. But for some reason, I feel like that is what happened. This was also the show where we had a dog actor who was in Heat. And I learned what that actually means for a dog.
Sally Carson.
Like Sally Carson, yes.
That's what they kept multiple people on the after
By the way,
show.
Sally Carson from Southern Charm is what Phoebe's talking about.
Not a personal friend.
Not a personal friend.
But a distant enemy.
But but believe me, everyone knows a Sally Carson, okay?
She was talking to Molly on the after show, and they were like, you were a dog in Heat for Austin.
Diabolical pairing, by the way, for the after show.
Separately, Madison said it to Craig. Used the same term about
Epic.
Sally at that party.
It's probably because Sally's self-described herself that way because she thinks it's cute and funny for some reason. She probably actually said, we probably just haven't seen it yet, but probably at the dinner table that weekend, she said, I'm like a dog in Heat. When Austin gets up to go to the bathroom and she says, do you need some help with that? I was like, and you need to be put down, girl. Hey, dog in Heat, you need to be put down. Where's the euthanasia specialist on the property?
That was
I know
insane.
there is one.
I was like, the body's not cold.
I was
and
like,
he doesn't.
Grow up.
I also don't think at that point he knows you know.
He literally, and I'm sorry, I would melt into a puddle, never be seen again if I said this to a man as he was getting up to go to the bathroom and he was like, chill. And he was like, stop or whatever. Like he basically was like, enough. And she's like, so anyway, if you haven't watched Southern Charm, you probably should. The last thing I want to say for not today though.
The last thing I want to say before we start, just because it's always on my mind and I need to put it into a microphone. One of my least favorite things in TV shows or movies, and Tell Me Lies is what makes me think this, is I hate when there's like a great needle drop at the end of a show or something and the credits start and it's not edited to be on beat.
The credits should be on beat.
Yeah.
When it's not the like cascading credits,
Yeah.
when it's just like the boom. Yeah, no.
Like when it's like Megan Oppenheimer and it's like
it wouldn't
off.
take that much more effort. All the effort you put into editing this, and honestly, there are tools like TikTok will do that for you. TikTok will literally do it for you.
How do we not think that?
Did you want that with this episode with no lead a fairy tale at the end? Because the drums it would.
Well, this show's so this.
When you listen to No Lead a Fairy Tale by Vanessa Carlton, you also must be doing the Grinch. You must be doing that when you do the drums.
I didn't think it with this only because I feel like Gossip Girl. I know what I'm getting with the end credits. It's always going to be that song, and I think the credits are on beat with that song.
Oh, that one.
And Caroline, guys, that's got to be a reel because that.
It's never going to be a reel because I make the reels and I don't want this face released. Like it's for you and me. Some things can be sacred, Phoebe. Okay, some things can be sacred.
Anyway, I just had to get that off my chest. It really bothers me with Tell Me Lies when the music in that show is so good.
It's the only thing I can imagine that could bother you about that show. And by the way, so I know we're a broken record. We always talk about how people are like annoyed with us, but I just want to quickly follow up on our combo from last week. One, thank you guys so much for all of you who were like, don't stop the tangents. Like, thank you for falling in love with us. Okay. Thank you for falling in love with the people behind the microphones and not just like the subject matter, but also, I do just need to say, like, if you want to know what we're talking about, then you need to watch Tell Me Lies, because an article was just released. I want to say it was The Guardian that was like rating the most toxic television boyfriends. And Stephen DeMarco is obviously number one from Tell Me Lies. Chuck Bass is on the list. I think it's worth discussing the list on a Tuesday episode.
I think that would be
like,
good.
If you want to be part of that conversation, then you just need to like at least brush up on Tell Me Lies. And if you haven't watched it yet, you're actually missing out. Like, it took Phoebe like a second to get into it. It's so good. I can't wait for Tuesday every week.
Me too. And it comes quicker than I always think it will. I don't know why. I like get to the weekend and I'm like, OMG, so close.
I know. Literally, I'm like, not me wanting the work week to start so I can check in with my girl Lucy. Actually, she's not really my girl. I don't claim her. Anyway.
All I'll say as a little precursor to that episode we eventually do, Stephen DeMarco is unlike any TV
he doesn't even belong on the list because he's not, like, at the end of the day, Stephen DeMarco is a true, like, psychopath. Like, he is, and that's not dramatic. Like, I don't think he's capable of love
on hurting people.
And he
leveraging
says that. Like,
people.
He is a literal, like, there's not a single redeeming quality about him. I don't even think he's really cute enough to act the way he acts, but I think that's part of it too.
When I first was watching and I would see everybody be like, we all have a Stephen DeMarco. I'm like, you do?
No, we don't. And if you do, I hope you have a good therapist, because like, holy shit.
Maybe the first season, I'm like, okay. Every girl's dated that guy. We all have a guy
who fucked us up, or like a partner who has fucked us up in our lives. But then you see what he did that everyone has a Steven, like, and it's like every episode you're like, how could someone be more deplorable? And for those of you that believe that Chuck Bass is the most toxic TV boyfriend, honey, you got a big storm coming. Like, you have another thing coming. And I think it's hard to be watching Gossip Girl and like all this chatter about how much people, like, especially with the announcement of the Blair novel, which we're also going to be discussing on a Tuesday episode next week. But with the introduction of this novel, which so exciting, so many people are like, I hope Blair has divorced Chuck. Now, we're going to get into, like, when we talk about it, we're going to talk about, because in the book, Blair doesn't end up with Chuck. So that probably is, like, he's probably not going to be part of her story. So, but I do also want to talk about it as though it were Blair TV 20 years, because I just think that would be fun too. So we can kind of talk about both. But so many people are like, oh my God, please tell me she's not with Chuck, blah, blah, blah. Like, Chuck is the worst. Chuck is terrible. Like, she never should have been with him. That's why the books are superior. And it's like, yeah, but it's really hard to like watch this show in tandem with Tell Me Lies and feel like Chuck Bass is like as bad as
I agree.
as bad as he is, but it's just like to think that this show was branded as like your mother's worst nightmare and Tell Me Lies exists in a post. I mean, hey, Gossip Girl walked, so Tell Me Lies could run.
No, 100%. I agree.
Like, and this is just Serena if she.
That's what I was
had a
just
different
gonna
life.
say. That I was just gonna say this is like Serena.
Lucy's very Serena coded. If she had gotten mixed up with someone like Stephen DeMarco and it had actually like, and she hadn't had a family to like buy her out of it and get her out of these situations, like.
But I still, and this is crazy, I still think Lucy's more likable than Serena. Serena drives me fucking crazy.
Serena, that makes sense. By the way, like
Lucy, like when Lucy's like being normal with her friends and she's not making the worst decisions on planet Earth, it's like, okay, that's a girl that I like sat next to in college and like was nice ish, you know?
I guess. I mean, but like Serena could be that girl too.
No,
it's
I wouldn't like Serena.
I feel like though,
wouldn't
if we were limiting the interaction to just a girl I sat next to in class, I feel like she'd be like that popular girl that would be really nice to you and you'd be like, oh, she's nice. But then like if you actually saw her at a party, you would be like, I can't handle
I don't know.
this girl.
I could see Serena, and I think this comes from their upbringings.
I thought you were about to say, I could see like you being like you liking her. And I was like, and shots fired again. And here comes the bloody dagger again.
No.
Jesus. By the way, Phoebe, are you going to wash your hands? You are covered in blood. Crazy work on the day you're hosting. You're hosting a Super Bowl party covered in blood.
I just killed the
Why is that whole house wrapped in plastic wrap? Like, Phoebe, what's going on?
It's fresh. Everything I'm making is fresh.
Okay. Well, yeah. What kind of meat are you using? Just, you know what? That's not funny.
Chickens,
You know
pigs.
what? You know what? This isn't funny. Now that we've learned that there are people who do eat human beings, this isn't funny. I'm not talking about Armie Hammer, by the way, which stay tuned for him in Gossip Girl.
But I think that Serena would like show up late to class. Lucy's on time to class. I think that Serena is.
How do you know Lucy's on time to class?
Because
Lucy is on time. And one thing about Lucy, say what you will about her, she's on time to class. I would bet you that Lucy's going through enough mentally that she's not going to class.
I just mean Serena's personality and Lucy's personality before all this is happening to her. Take anything that's happened to either of them out of the mix. Lucy's showing up to class on time and Serena's like waltzing in with a coffee and like doesn't have a bag or a note. Like she's
okay. Like, maybe the Serena who's not dating Dan Humphrey, yeah. But because they're both male-centered women, Serena is basing her whole existence and like her priorities on who she's dating. So for her right now, Dan thinks it's hot that she did her English homework. You know what I mean? It's like
that's fair.
Serena's good, but like Serena, and it makes sense that she would, and this is a good segue. It makes sense that you would say this because the Serena from a year ago, you're 100% right. She's showing up to class buzzed and late.
Guys, I forgot about the like intermittent flashbacks in this episode.
It's a great episode.
I always think I don't like the first Thanksgiving episode because I think you always picture the Jason Derulo episode.
Yeah.
However, this is a really good episode.
It's gold, and it's like I've seen this episode so many times, and no Vanessa, just a mention of her, and it clocks. It makes sense. This episode, I've seen it a zillion times, and I have it memorized basically. It's so good. Again, it's honestly kind of a good episode for Serena, if we're gonna be honest. Like,
that's true.
Where she actually is like a good friend for once. And like it's also it's a good episode for Eleanor. We really get into the Blair and Eleanor relationship and learn more. And like I just have so much more empathy for the Waldorfs than I do for the Vanderwoodsons. Mm-hmm. Even though like as the show goes on, we're gonna learn so much about the Vanderwoodsons that's like will make us have some empathy, I'm sure. But like right now, I'm just like, save Blair Waldorf.
You know what I think could have happened in an alternate timeline is
what?
Serena meets Allison and is like immediately obsessed and like,
oh my God,
wants to spend all her time over at that house and like wishes Allison was her mom.
And this is a timeline where Rufus and Lily did or did not. Oh my God.
No, but I just mean like I could see maybe Serena doesn't find out that happens, but I could see Serena like hating Lily so much or wanting to hate her and thinking Allison is so cool and like.
Well, yes. And honestly, like I could see it happening in this timeline. if she just hadn't met her this way.
Well, I just mean in an alternate timeline that isn't the show. Like if the show went differently.
Yeah, but even in this timeline, like that's to piss your mom off. I could see Serena being like, "I'm doing it."
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like I could see her actually after this Thanksgiving meal being like, "I don't know, there was something. I think she's really cool. I want to get to know her, Mom. I can learn a lot from her. And if you're gonna support me and Dan, then like, if you're gonna support me and Dan, then you'll support this too. I have to go." Anyway,
we get an I have to go this episode.
We sure do. Wait,
right,
how funny was that Nate reel that I shared? With him just, what? Wait, what?
he is the Toby of this show.
What are you talking about?
Ways.
And then when it goes to, he is. When it goes to just his faces, it's like such a, and this reel was uploaded like 11 years ago or
Chase
something.
Crawford has minimal facial expressions in his
so
toolbox.
Funny when he's the one where he's laying in the bed. Wait, what? That one made me laugh so hard. It's just like, good guy Nate. Anyway, all right. So we open up with a good old Thanksgiving montage and big news. Gossip Girl's taking the day off. Gossip Girl's taking the day off, and she is gonna enjoy Thanksgiving. But she does say that when the cat's away, the mice will freaking play. So just because
she said rodents.
She did?
Yes.
Holy shit. Okay.
She said when the cat's away, the mice will play. Be something, little rodents.
Okay. Yeah, little rodents. Actually, oh, you know what? I remember that line now because when I was thinking of what we were going to name this podcast,
that was
little rodents. I'm not kidding you, came up in my head because I was like, oh, that's like, I was like, that could be a Patreon tier or something, the little rodents, because that is like something that people got into from this. But then I totally forgot that. Wow.
And here we are.
But you didn't like that. So here we are. You're one and only source. Anyway. And yeah, as Phoebe mentioned, like throughout this episode, we get all these flashbacks to Thanksgiving a year ago when life was much simpler.
We get like
simpler
iMovie
time.
iMovie titles
it's like
that slide
like
on.
Twilight filter, like not the Pretty Little Liars filter because it's not like a glow. It's like faded,
it's Twilight.
Like,
it looks like Forks.
Exactly. And Promiscuous Girl starts playing. Honestly, just an epic, like right out of the Thanksgiving montage where it's like idyllic and beautiful. Boom. Nelly Furtado, Promiscuous Girl. Serena's wasted and she's exiting a bar, or Blair just had to come pick her up. Serena was supposed to be getting pies for Thanksgiving, but instead she's freaking wasted and all the moms are freaking out.
She's like wasted. I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you.
And
you're welcome.
Thank you. Sorry.
That was crazy.
It was. I'm
sorry. By the way, when someone says bless you, you should just say thank you. That's just a word to the wise, just a tip. Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Now I have to keep that sneeze in.
This is turning into an etiquette book referencing episode yet again. Here we are.
And
you know who loves the etiquette book by Emily Post?
Anthony.
Blair Waldorf.
Oh, I thought that it was going to be like someone in your real life.
No, Blair Waldorf and Anne Archibald. Anyway.
And I don't understand how Serena is so drunk the entire episode.
She keeps drinking, I guess.
I mean, she must, but
or
like,
is she faking? Is she act more drunk than she is all the time?
She's definitely that girl.
Yes. But also, does she even have to be?
And then she grows into someone who is just like that drunk.
Yeah, I like that. She's lost her purse, of course. So Blair is going to go look for it. And as she goes to look for it, Mr. Lonely Boy, Dan Humphrey, walks out of a pie shop. He's on the phone with his mom. He got the pies and he watches as Serena just willy-nilly waltzes into traffic, almost gets hit by 3 different cars.
It's crazy. And he goes to help her out of the way and is like, what does he say?
he like saves her from this cab and he goes, right of way. And I'm like, actually, I don't see a crosswalk. Dan, like, that is so like a man. That is just
well, Dan has
so
a lot of
like
lines like that
man.
this episode.
Yeah,
he had a couple lines
right away
that were actually jaw dropping to me. The way that he talks to Mrs. Vanderwoodson.
Oh, Phoebe, me too. I was like, if I'm Serena, I'm like, changing plans. Dan, get the hell out. Dan, get the hell out. And on the way out, read this. And she throws as hard as she can the etiquette book. It flies through the wall. She's like, and on your way down, tell the doorman we need a repairman up here in the penthouse. There's an Emily Post-sized hole in the wall. Anyway, so Dan like saves her or whatever. And then Serena calls a cab, notices the dropped pies in the street and is all sad about them. And Dan, mortifying, introduces himself. He's like, I'm Dan. She's like, I'm Serena. And he's like, well, we actually met last year. And she's like, okay.
Sorry.
Saved by the Waldorf. Blair comes up. She's like, get your hands off of her. Taking advantage of her on a high holy holiday. Who are you? Oh my God, you're from Brooklyn, aren't you? I just got a whiff of the Brooklyn water. Oh, Serena, get in the cab.
And she says, bye, Dave.
Yes. So now, fast forward a year later, my time is a magical thing. Serena's in a cab still, but this time she's on the freaking phone with Dan. She's freaking
and she's sober.
She's like, Happy Thanksgiving. She's like that. She's like, Happy Thanksgiving, Dan. She says this might be the first Thanksgiving I remember, and he goes, I bet.
I'm a little bit like,
huh?
Yeah, that was a crazy line, but also so funny that she's like, what?
He's like baiting her. He's like, come on. I know you remember. Now that we've been spending this time together, you're gonna be like, wait, oh my God, that was you. Dave is Dan. No, that's not what happens.
But what I will say is, Serena, you're only like 16.
When she says, let's go back into the bar and get shots, and the flashback, I'm like, and then this time you're like, what, 14?
And also, what do you mean? That means you were drinking at 11 and blacking out on Thanksgiving?
Maybe she's like, they're really traumatic Thanksgivings for me, of course, and I blacked them all out. Maybe it's that.
Maybe, but
you're right. That's what and you know what? Mom will be happy to hear you say that, because that is one of Mom's main gripes with this show. And I'm sorry, it is completely unrealistic. It is completely unbelievable. They're teens. They're not 21. You're drinking at a bar, a dirty martini. Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Except I do think
never happen.
I think I think they say this in the that last episode of the show when they do like the recap of everything. It's like the documentary kind of. They say a lot of the research they did was like, this is how these teens in New York act.
Yeah. Mom,
it doesn't make sense to.
I hate to break it to you, but they live differently in New York City.
Regular folk like us.
Yeah, exactly. Regular suburban folk like us. Good on us, suburban folk like us. Anyway, so Serena's like, all right, I'm going to Blair's, and she's like, it's going to be great. Her dad's going to be home for the first time since he left. We're going to have a great Thanksgiving. And Dan's like, oh, I'm going to have a great one. My mom's here. Like, things are going great. So we go to the Humphrey loft.
And
hate this beginning part.
Jenny, it's Thanksgiving. Fucking Jenny, relax.
And I'm also like, okay, so Allison's an almond mom. It's clear. I'm you know what? I'm going to say something problematic here. Good thing Allison wasn't Blair Waldorf's mom. Because obviously there have been a lot of conversations about how much heavy cream is appropriate. Let me just say, the limit does not exist.
Jenny goes, Mom, do you think that's a lot of heavy cream?
She goes, is it really okay to cook with this much heavy cream? What would not be okay about it? It's not Ballerina Farm raw milk, okay? You're going to be fine.
And Allison goes, our arteries give us a pass on Turkey Day.
Hey, also, no, they don't. Arteries don't have calendars. Okay, everybody knows that, Allison. You sound ridiculous. You honestly sound so dumb right now.
Vanessa,
Mom?
Vanessa, if she was there.
Hey. Vanessa would be like, Allison,
hey, Al.
need to remind you arteries don't have calendars.
She calls her Al for sure.
Allie. No, she calls her Allie. For sure. Allie, you know. Arteries don't have calendars. You're
no,
crazy.
She has to say it more condescending.
Allie. Sorry. I like how Phoebe's
I'm giving you notes.
Phoebe's giving me direction and then waiting. Like Phoebe 100% was like, no, try that. Try with that. No, let's see if you can take direction. She goes, Allie, arteries don't have calendars. How's that?
That was pretty good.
Okay, I'll keep working on it. Anyway, so Allison bought way too much food. There's so much food, but it's a good thing because you're going to have some unexpected freaking guests. Allison, if you didn't want the Vanderwoodson clan to show up here, you shouldn't have bought so much freaking food.
And also, someone should have stepped in when Dan said, I'm going to invite my girlfriend of 2 months over for Thanksgiving dinner.
Also, can I say something? It's crazy to me Serena wants to go.
Yeah.
I'm
that
like,
sounds miserable with your whole family and your whole family.
Let me tell you, if I was like, Mom, I've been dating this guy for 2 months, we're all going to go to his house for Thanksgiving. All of us, the whole gang. Mom would be like, no, we're not. We have a golf cart parade. They can come here, but they're going to be working. You better let them know.
We need
you
the
better
hands.
let them know they're going to be working. We could use the extra pairs of hands if they've got calluses on them, because if they're not working girl hands, then I don't want to see them here. Okay. We've got work to be done. Anyway, Dan is like, well, actually, Mom, they call that guilt. You overbuying, they call that guilt. Dan is not going to let his mom off the freaking hook. He's just not.
And honestly,
it literally
well
takes
deserved.
the whole Lily thing to happen for Dan to absolve his mother of a single thing. Someone has to do something like worse.
Which is valid to me. Like Jenny wants it to work so badly. I understand why Jenny and she's the younger sibling. It makes sense. But like Dan, and I also think it's becoming clear that Allison used Dan as a pawn in the situation a little bit. And I think that makes the situation even worse for him. Like he had to see his mom in a different way. And Jenny can still kind of have that idealized version of her.
Yeah. Yes. Also, well, it's like that, no offense, that eldest child thing where it's like Dan's gonna feel those feelings so that Jenny can like live a little bit in her like undiluted happiness, because whatever, but like Dan might be privy to, you know what I mean? Like he, like just because of the birth order, he might, whatever. Anyway, he's also wearing a vest. So
just wanted to
what's that
mention
about?
that.
Okay, so Blair is we're back to,
we should do a Tuesday episode one time where we pair up Pretty Little Liars characters and Gossip Girl characters and who they would date if they were all in the same universe.
Love it. Okay,
That'd
let's
be
do
good.
it. Okay, great. Write it down. Put it in the shared note. So Blair is looking for her dad's famous pumpkin pie recipe, which actually is Bobby Flay's pumpkin pie recipe, but her dad took it, and she's like so excited. It's really cute. She's like, it's gonna be perfect. Like, oh my god, she's just giddy over.
I don't
family time.
understand. I don't understand how it hasn't come up yet that he's not coming.
Yes. I wonder if Eleanor just wanted it to look like, oh, well, he no-showed. Like, how could he do that to you? Like,
I think she wanted that, but I just don't know how, like, she didn't hear something around it just feels like it would already make sense.
Yeah.
And you said this is a good episode for Eleanor, and I think at the end it is, but she does a few things where I'm like, you're just doing that to be nasty to Blair because she still loves her dad.
Totally. Sorry. And you're right. It's not a good episode for her as a mother. It's more
it gives us insight into her.
like it's like it gives us a little bit of like, it's true. A good episode in terms of like character development and like understanding her, and then also Blair, and like, and it does get like I do have empathy for her at the end, and on it, like, God, it just would be so hard. But I do feel like at the end, like, and throughout, like, I do feel like we see how much she loves Blair in moments where even Blair's dad like does it, like later on when we get to the first thing with like the eating, and Blair's dad's like, she's fine, like whatever, and Eleanor is obviously like losing sleep over this, and it's like,
right,
he's not, and it's like, well, obviously you're not, because you were able to just leave and not come back. Like, you weren't worried, you know. So, but Eleanor's been here having to like make sure that your child is okay. Exactly. And it's hard to do because she's also like working and be like, you know. So anyway, so she has a great line because Serena's like, wow, like you're excited. And Blair's like, I'm in a good mood. It happens sometimes because I increase my Lexapro and sometimes because my dad's in town. And Serena's like, and sometimes, mostly because things are good with a boy. And
I understand where Serena's coming from, but I just am like, I feel like you could have seen how this goes. Like, did you have to confront Blair about it on Thanksgiving, which is clearly like her favorite day?
I was like, are you trying to like burst her bubble? Like you see that she's in such a good mood and you're like, well, let me bring this up. And especially when she's like, did you and Nate get back together? Because like Serena, you know that they didn't. Like you saw Blair and Chuck. So like, you know, she's not back with Nate. And so
what does
Blair's
this make Blair's zodiac sign? She was born in November.
Scorpio?
Like a week before. Okay, yeah. I see that for her.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she's a Scorpio, but I'll confirm. So Serena's like, well, okay, then how's Chuck? And Blair was like, why would
How would I know
anything about that? And Serena's like, Blair,
well, you are friends.
Tell me anything. I'd be the last to judge anyone. And
for
Blair
good
goes,
reason.
With good reason, which I love. I'm like, and like, yeah, Blair, tell her. Like, Serena, I better not catch you judging anybody ever, girl. Like, after the things we know. I'm like, you're lucky you have a seat at the Waldorf Thanksgiving table, bestie. Like, Blair, honestly, better woman than me. So Serena's like, hey, Blair, I saw you with Chuck. And Blair goes, okay, I slept with him twice. Like, whatever. And
Serena's like, you slept with him?
2 times? What? And she's like so grossed out. And she's like, I thought you wanted to make things special. And Blair has a great point here. She goes, so Nate gets a free pass and I'm the slut. And I didn't realize, did Nate lose his virginity to Serena at the Shepherd wedding?
I think that's what she's implying, but I guess because he's only dated Blair.
Oh my God, you're right. I don't want to believe that, but like,
I guess so. But then he did make that comment, like, and maybe this was just him trying to be mature, but at the Shepherd wedding, when the champagne pops too early, and he's like, that never happens to me. Oh. It felt like something you would say if you had already been in a situation, like,
yeah. Or maybe he was just trying to like,
but it came out too smooth for me to, like, he's just had a confidence to him where I'm like,
yeah.
This could.
But also, he's best friends with Chuck Bass. I'm just playing devil's advocate, and I'm like, he could so easily just like recite the things he's heard Chuck say.
That means he's best friends with Chuck Bass. He could have just lost his virginity to someone random.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it just doesn't seem like. But good point. If he's been with Blair, I mean, here we are thinking that he wouldn't cheat on her, but I don't think Nate would cheat on Blair with just anybody. I think he cheated with Serena, but I don't get the vibe that he would like really get. He just like honestly doesn't even seem that interested in girls. Like, he's just,
I think if Serena, he's just interested in justice.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, he's like, I'm actually dating the law. So anyway, Serena's like, I feel like you did this for revenge. And Blair's like, well, it's not because I like Chuck's natural musk. And hey, nothing hurts more than sleeping with a best friend, right? And like, yeah. Again, Serena, I would fucking watch myself. It hasn't been that long. It's only November. The school year started end of August, beginning of September.
And Serena goes...
So Blair just found out, really, still.
Serena's, and she's given you a lot of room. Yeah. Serena says,
well, granted, look how quickly we forget the Ostroff Center, but like, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did forget that. And so did everybody else.
Well, sorry, like, Serena, keep bringing it up. Blair always brings up what you did.
Exactly. If you want us to remember, you got to remind us, okay? Anyway, so then they're fully fighting in the kitchen, and Blair's like, what, are you jealous you didn't get to sleep with him first? There had to be someone left on the Upper East Side. Zing!
That was crazy.
Talk about a ringing zing.
And he was like, that's when she says, way to prove a point,
Eleanor.
Maybe?
Eleanor walks in.
Wait, did you just say I learned from the master what Blair says to Serena, and then Serena says, well, it looks like the student has become the master.
Oh, okay, young grasshopper. So Eleanor walks in and she's like, when is your mother arriving? And Serena's like, she's not. And she gets her bag and she's like, we're actually not having it here. And Eleanor's like, why? And Blair says, because I uninvited them. And then she waves goodbye to Serena.
Sorry, someone asked a question about my party. I'm kind of afraid no one's going to come.
Really? Why?
I just always get that stressed feeling, you know?
Did you make people RSVP? Like,
yeah, but you know how it is day of sometimes.
Well, definitely send me a list of the people that no show. Send me a list. I would love to see. And guys, if you're listening to this and you're like, oh my God, I was one of the no shows and I didn't go, then just know I heard about it. And you'll get your retribution. I don't no show my kid's sister's Super Bowl party if you know what's good for you. Okay.
I can't wait because ultimately I just know in my heart of hearts, I think I have to raise my family in Pittsburgh. So I can't wait.
That is amazing news.
I can't wait until we all have families and we can have a big Super Bowl party at one of our houses.
Some of us have families.
That's right. Of course.
Husband and 2 dogs. That's family.
all of us, when all of us have families. And
I mean,
we're going to have a massive Super Bowl party.
Oh, okay. We can do it in the haunted house I'm buying.
Right.
By the way, there's nothing wrong if your house overlooks a cemetery. It actually means they're looking over you. They're watching over you in a sweet way. Opportunity for jokes. Think of the jokes I will tell. Like, think of the jokes. I'll be like, oh my God, come on over. Oh, you want to stay the night? Stay the night here. And it's really good because we have really quiet neighbors.
Then that's Caroline, that's so clever. What's another joke you have about it?
Well, when I met the neighbor who lives next door, he was like, I'm not used to hearing voices here. I said, well, I bet you're not. I said, I bet that's actually kind of scary to hear voices. And he said, why? And I was like, well, so that's like, because there's like a huge cemetery right there. And he was like, joke. Oh my God. He goes, you know what? I never noticed that. And then I was like, that's epic. And then he goes, we're actually going to build a chute from our house just straight to the cemetery. And I said, well, if we move in, we might be asking to borrow it.
It's crazy that he never realized he lived across the street from like the cemetery.
It's a pretty cemetery. It would honestly be good for business. And guess what? I'll think of new jokes.
Oh my God.
I only went to the haunted house once.
If you do lessons out of that
I'm not
house,
going to.
And you on Halloween, you can like have it be like, you can make it super
Halloween
spooky.
will go kind of crazy. I'm getting a 12-foot skeleton if I move into the haunted house. And I'm gonna put it on the other side of the street. I'm gonna have fun with it, just so you all know. If I live in a haunted house.
What if you like put some kind of like criminal jumpsuit on the skeleton and he had a sign that said, I escaped?
You know what I'm actually gonna do at Halloween? I am just gonna build that chute. I'm gonna build that chute, the skeleton, and build a chute from the solarium into the cemetery, and then I'm gonna put a 12-foot skeleton starting to like crawl back up through the chute. It'll be glass, everyone can see it. They're like, oh no. I just also like, I as someone who, you know, is frequently welcomed into places that are habituated by ghosts, I'm just like, I'm not worried about them. Like, they know me.
I like that word, habituated.
I don't know if it's a word. I noticed it once I said it, and I actually thought you were going to call me on it. And now we've drawn more attention to it, so somebody definitely will. But I just don't really care that every room in the house looks over a cemetery. Like, it's not like it's not like at the children's hospital. If I was in a hospital, sure. Don't have me overlooking it. Cool.
But I don't think
it
means, I don't think so. It means,
what does it mean?
Make or become accustomed or used to something. So the example is she had habituated the chimps to humans.
Okay, so I become habituated to ghosts and vice versa.
Exactly.
And also, that's
the word of the day.
I'll say this: Anthony doesn't even believe in ghosts. Bad for business, by the way. Bad for business.
That's
but
crazy.
He doesn't believe in them, so like, it's so not. And also, the realtor was like, I like walk in the house and I was like, oh, Mom's gonna have a big issue with this. And she was like, with what? And I was like, the cemetery. And she was like, oh, why? Like, it was like weird to her. And I was like, oh, I don't know. She's kind of like woo woo. Like, I don't know. Like I told Mom about this and she was like, well, you have to hold your breath when you drive by a cemetery.
I'm like, Mom, have you been doing that? That's a long road.
Hey, Mom,
that's a long road to be on.
that.
The last thing I'm going to say is about words, and it is that I saw a TikTok the other day of a 5th grade teacher who said part of the fun of being a teacher, like an elementary school teacher, is you can just teach your kids any word you want and they'll learn how to use it. And she said the other day I taught them what the word pedantic meant, and now they can't stop saying it.
Ow.
They'll like call each other when they're pedantic.
Wait, that's cute.
I know. And I'm like, well, I never thought about it like that.
It
Like
is true, like,
you can just teach kids big
you can
words.
mold minds. It's what I do every day, by the way. I mold minds. But I do more with pop culture stuff. Like, I'm like, oh, did you know about this? And I tell them, and they're like, I didn't know. And I'm like, yeah, well, now you do. Okay. And don't tell anyone I taught you that. You know, also the other thing I'm going to say about that is when I was in first grade, mom and dad thought it would be like, I don't know why they wanted me to do this, but they just thought it would be cool if I knew how to spell polypropylene.
Okay, Walter White.
So they taught me how to, I don't even know what it is. They taught me how to spell it.
I literally think they say it in
Polypropylene. That's how you spell it.
Okay.
And I remember going to school to my teacher, Mrs. Valazek, and I said, guess what? I know how to spell polypropylene. And she said, okay, then do it. She didn't believe me, and I did it. And she was like, whoa.
She was the best
teacher. And I was like, but why did they want me to learn how to spell that? That's such a weird word. I wonder if it's like
part of an IQ test or something.
Never needed to know it, by the way. No one's ever asked me to spell it without me telling them I know how. I prompted that. I practically begged her to ask me.
You at the talent show? That's your talent.
Like, how annoying was I that mom and dad were like, and tomorrow you go to school and you know how to spell this word. Like, oh my God, maybe it was part of an IQ test. And I'm still wondering why the GIEP guy gave me a Rorschach test. Still wondering about that. You know, they gave me a Rorschach test in elementary school, and mom and dad had no idea. The ink blots. Yep.
Maybe he was just practicing.
I don't know that you're allowed to just practice with that kind of a test on a kid without like parental consent.
Is it a bad test?
It's like a test. It's a test they would give people who have like things wrong with them. Like doesn't have anything to do with IQ. It's like, what do you see in this? And that's going to tell me a lot about like what's happened to you or what's gone on in your life or what kind of person you are. Are you a psychopath? Like, I remember learning about it in AP Psych.
Which, hey guys, I don't fucking understand that.
And just being like, why? Well, it's like your subconscious. Like, what do you see? And usually there are like options, like, you know, those optical illusions where they're like, if you look at it this way, like, what do you see? And then like, depending on what you see, it's like the part of your brain that like, whatever. I think that's what it is. But I just remember so distinctly this man giving me this test. I remember the room I was in. I remember doing it. And then I like asked mom about it one day, like years later. And she was like, what? No one ever did that. And I was like, yeah, they did. And she didn't even know about it. And they were wondering if he was like studying to like he needed hours for like.
Wait, that's what I mean by practice.
But I still think that's weird. Don't use me as your guinea pig.
I guess. But I mean, it's not like he like. Did it freak you out?
I'm still thinking about it.
I know.
I don't know. Like, no, it didn't. I just think it's weird. I wouldn't give a student a Rorschach test without like.
But I feel like it's.
Like, what did he do with that info? Hey, what did you find?
Well, that's true.
Because guess what? Maybe some of us would have liked to know that.
That's a good point. But I bet if he had seen something disturbing, he would have.
And then he was like, I can't tell anybody that I did this test on her because these responses are crazy. They're going to be like, how did you get those?
If he would have had, I think that if something really disturbing came through, he would have had to report it. Because what's the Socratic oath?
Unless he lied. Well, he wasn't in yet. He's doing his hours, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I'm on to you, Mr. Opal. I'm on to you.
Oh, it was Mr. Opal.
It was Mr. Opal. Yeah.
Oh, sweet guy.
Does that change things?
He was sweet.
Oh, you're like, now I have a bad feeling about this.
I thought it was like a guy who came into the school and did it.
That would be way scarier. No. But that's, again, why I'm like, was he just allowed to like test the kids' brains and see what's going on in there?
Probably.
You were supposed to be checking my IQ, which, by the way, Mom, still waiting to hear what it is. And I will not take another IQ test because what if it changed and I don't want that to happen.
They always say it can't, and I'm like, that can't be right.
I bet it. I would beg to differ. I bet if I took an IQ test today, it's looking a little different than the one I took when I was a little kid. Okay, it is. And maybe worse. So I just want to know what that one said. And Mom told me it was really high. And that's why she wouldn't tell me. And I'm like,
it's like, okay, Mom, you really know Caroline. Thanks, God,
Mom.
Mom, keep it from her.
You really wanted me to want to know, huh? Because then why'd you say it like that? Your IQ is so high, Caroline. It's almost Mensa level, but I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want you to brag. I'm going to brag even more now. I'm going to bring this up all the time. I don't know what my mom won't even tell me what my IQ is. That's how high it is. That's what I started saying. And I still do. Oh my God. I'm still saying that.
All right.
Anyway.
Let's lock in.
So,
sorry, y'all.
We're back to last year. I'm not sorry. We're back to last year's Thanksgiving. Everyone was freaking happy. Serena's drunk at the table. Blair's dad is here. Eleanor comes in and she offers Blair a canapé. What is that?
I don't know, but by the way, in the last one, Serena has been, the Vanderwoodsons have been uninvited from Thanksgiving, and all I will say is, how does the kid get to make that decision?
No, true. Well, oh, sorry. Okay, no. We did say, yeah, that they were uninvited. I skipped a little bit. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. But now they're in Chinatown. Serena, Lily, and Eric are in Chinatown because all the other shops are closed and they're trying to figure out what they're going to eat. Lily picks up a pumpkin. She goes, this is festive, yes? What is the plan? It's so funny to me. And then Dan calls Serena and he's like, hey, what's up? By the way, Dan, you're in the room with your entire family. Don't call your girlfriend.
And I do just have to say, these kids are ungrateful. Chinese food on any day would be great.
You're in Chinatown, New York City, and you're complaining about the Peking duck you might be eating. I bet you it'll be fucking amazing.
Yeah, relax.
Relax.
Dan,
although I would throw a fit if we weren't going to have like what I like to have on Thanksgiving. That's another thing. Like, I like to eat what I know I like to eat on Thanksgiving. I don't really like doing like those kind of meals with other families because it's like we have different spreads and like I
make things
keep
a little
learning.
different.
Yeah, and the older I get, the more I've learned that I'm a little bit picky. I think that it's an OCD thing though, because I get like really freaked out. Like if I don't kind of know what it's gonna taste like,
Mom
like
says,
I don't like that at all.
Mom says I'm picky, but I think I'm just particular. Like I think I know what I like.
You're picky, and sorry, you're gonna hate this, stubborn. Because you are like, no. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing because I'm the same way, but I just know you're not going to like to hear it. But okay, hard truth. That's what this is for. That's what this podcast is for. But I feel like you'll be like, I'm never eating. Like, I'm trying to think of something that you like didn't like that now you really like. What?
Red onions and blue cheese that I eat every day.
Okay, perfect. Those two things that I fucking love, by the way. And Phoebe, like for the longest time was just like, no, especially with the onions. Like it was just like an absolute no. And like no one can get her to try it unless she has made up her mind that she's interested.
Or
and that she thinks this time it might work.
If you are our Aunt Julie.
Okay,
I'll eat anything
Angela can get me to do
literally
anything. Angela can get me to do literally anything. But yeah, so I feel like, but then you'll like really, really like it. Like if I have one bad moment with a type of food, that's it. Like I ate an olive when I was a kid. And in the first house we lived, the house that you famously ran out of when I was in the room with you and you left and went to try to go to Scoops.
So do you guys see how somehow I'm at fault in that story? Caroline was literally watching me.
You know who is at fault? Dad. That's at fault. You were like 1 year old. I can't even believe you were walking. And I was doing what 6-year-olds do, which is watch TV. And I don't know, like you were getting ice cream. Anyway, I was like, you were doing something for us.
We find out that Caroline asked me to go get ice cream.
I didn't ask you. You brought it up, and I was like, sure.
You remember?
Like, you should. No, I don't remember it. I remember opening the door, and there you were. And I remember being like, I'm gonna get it. Oh, this is a bad day for me.
You open the door.
Imagine the adult man who brought you back to the house and opened the door and it's another little kid alone. He was probably like, what is going on here?
You open the door, you see me, and you're like,
I'm like, what? Wait, what? I'm like, where's the fucking ice cream? You didn't at least take her to finish the job? I'm like, well, go back and come. At least now you have a wallet.
I'm like, okay, you think it's weird that she was walking there? Give her a ride then.
Yeah. Okay. So we actually like exercise here. We like exercise here.
Caroline was like,
Phoebe, you were the Serena in that situation, and he was your Dan Humphrey.
You kind of need the. You kind of need to
use the exercise. They keep saying it's baby fat, but I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. She's not talking, so I don't know like what. Also, how are you gonna order? I'm like, blah. Anyway, but you were the Serena Vanderwoods and he was your Dan Humphrey in that situation because you were walking in the street and he was like, whoa, right of way. And then he brought you back here. I can't believe you were like a dog with a collar. Like, how did he find out where you lived? Someone told
Well,
me.
I think I told
Someone
him.
saw him. No, you didn't.
That's true.
Someone on the street was like, oh, she
lives up
belongs
there.
there. She's from that house. Anyway, when I lived in that house, I tried an olive. Worst day of my life. Worse than the day that Phoebe got kidnapped, basically.
What kind of olive? Like a black olive?
I honestly don't remember, but I think it was a black olive, which doesn't sound right to me because the taste in my mind was so offensive. Like, it was like, and I could not get the taste out of my mouth.
Maybe it's probably a green
olive.
olive.
I don't remember, but I think it was black, but it actually is going to make me feel sick. And like the
That's
texture.
so sad. You're never going to be able to have a dirty martini
and
with
it's like
cheese olives.
Kind of like my, like
that
it
would be
seems like I would.
so up your alley.
I know. I think about it all the time. I barely can touch them. They really gross me out.
Sometimes Gibson will post a dirty that martini.
Makes you want it.
And I will be like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I mean, they were all drinking them at our bachelorette, and I was like, I wanted to have one, but I was like, I know I'll hate it.
And you're not going to do it with a twist.
Fuck no. That's disgusting too.
My gripe with the housemaid is that when they're drinking those martinis, the glasses aren't, it looks like it's just like lukewarm water with a
those glasses, you're right, they need to be completely frozen. I have martini glasses in the freezer right now, and they've been in there for like a month because one day I'm gonna want to make the Hillstone Crisp martini again, and I'm gonna need a freezing cold fucking glass.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. But if you need, by the way, if you guys need a tip, if you want to really quickly frost a glass and make it really cold right away, you put some ice in it, you fill it with water. You can either let it sit, or then you can put that in the freezer for like a minute. It will be totally cold. But, if you want it to be really cold, you just leave it in there. Anyway, okay, so Dan's like, well, you should come to our Thanksgiving. He's horrified Blair would kick her out.
He's already finished his specialty, the cranberries, out of the can.
Right. So she hangs up. She goes, okay, I got us in this mess. I'm going to get us out of it. Dan invited me and Eric's friends with his sister and his dad. It's really cool. Someone commenting and telling me my Serena is good. And I'm like, have you watched a show before? My Serena's objectively, I don't know.
Mom.
I mean, that
Mom's
was
like,
great
you really
to
put me
hear.
there.
Yeah. Thank you guys for saying that, but I think it needs some work, and Phoebe will agree.
Every so often you do get a word that is like spot on.
It's hard because I do need kind of like a word to really like launch me into it. Well, it's like
the way you do it is kind of like if SNL did it. You know what I mean? It would be an exaggerated version of how she talks.
Listen up if you need anything at all.
Oh my,
Literally
Caroline
anything.
just wants us to freaking take over the world instead of Matt and Bowen.
I do. Not instead of. How about in tandem with?
That's true. Well, we're the girl version.
We are the girl version. Okay, so this episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Y'all, we made it through January. But that does mean that the month of February is now here, and it is full of flowers and candy and, of course, lots of talk about relationships and dating. And it doesn't really matter whether you're single, dating, married, just focusing on yourself. It's really impossible to get away from the constant reminders that everyone else's love life is perfect. But the truth is, most of us are still figuring it out. We're still finding our way, and no matter where you are in your romantic journey, therapy can really help you find your way. It can help you figure out what you really want. And it can also help you figure out what's getting in the way of your happiness and your love life, yes, but also in all areas of your life. It's like Mama Ru always says, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love someone else? Anyway, we just want to remind you here at your one and only source that everyone is still figuring it out, okay? And we want to encourage you to take some pressure off of yourself, especially this month, the love month. I know you're probably hearing me say this and you're thinking, yeah, but Caroline's in a fairy tale marriage. What could she know about my struggles? And to that I say, girl, how do you think I got here? But in all seriousness, it takes work to be in a strong relationship. Anthony and I really both believe in using therapy to strengthen how we show up for each other. And yeah, sometimes just to vent about how one of us always forgets to make the bed. Both are okay. We are partnering with BetterHelp because they offer quality therapists that work according to a strict code of conduct, and they're all fully licensed in the U.S. And they offer a therapist match commitment, which I love. So if you aren't happy with your match, you can just switch to a different therapist at any time with BetterHelp's tailored recs. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the largest online therapy platform, and y'all, it works. So sign up today and get 10% off at BetterHelp.com. That's BetterHelp.com. We go back to last year's Thanksgiving again. Eleanor comes in, offers Blair a canapé, which I don't know what it is, and if someone wants to comment and tell us, I would love that. Really? I didn't know. Oh, what song is it?
Good Night and Go, maybe?
No way. Really?
I think it might be.
How did I miss that?
Kind of sounds like train sounds.
God, I love that song. So Blair's like, no, I don't want when I had 15. Or she goes, I'm not really hungry. And Eleanor immediately concerned. She's like, what does that mean that you're not hungry? Mm-hmm. And Blair's like, well, I had 15 of them and Daddy made them. And Eleanor's like, 15? And at first I was kind of like, chill. But then I realized she's not worried about like Blair eating a lot. It's more so the binging. Because she's just like, great, you ate a lot. Like, that's a pattern. Are you then gonna go purge? Like that's what we've been working on. So, and that was the first time I kind of saw it that way, because I think I used to be like, oh, that's Blair's toxic mom, you know, but it's not. And Serena's like fully asleep at the table, so Blair's waking her up, and Eleanor and Walter, Blair's dad, are like talking, and he's like, listen, the doctor said not to drive us crazy with this. She's been good for 2 months. Like, just chill, it's fine. So I'm kind of like, all right, Eleanor's a better parent.
I agree. He's just so... He kind of gives uncle vibes more than father vibes.
Like, you know what it also low-key gives? It's like, it's just kind of like the classic thing of like I wouldn't say that our family is like this at all, but I know there are a lot of families where it's like, oh, the dad like doesn't really have to do anything. He can just come in and be like, oh my God, a daddy, like I love you so much, like, and it doesn't matter, and he can just be like the nothing. Pieces. And he always is gonna be like the favorite, and then the mom is the one who has to do the heavy parenting lifting, and therefore becomes the enemy. I would not say that's how it was in our family, but like that. No. It's like that trope, I feel.
Right. And so Nate comes in, and
sorry, Eleanor, this is just important. Sorry.
Oh,
she's like, we need to add another place setting. I have a model coming. And Walter's like, oh, like, who is she? Do I know her? And she's like, well, it's a man. His name's Roman. And then she looks at him and says, not this one, Harold. We have to work together. And it's like, okay, so this has happened before, which again, it makes me really sad for Eleanor. Like, that makes me very sad. I know that lavender marriages are very, like, it's a very hot topic right now. And listen, if anyone was going to be, I mean, I did fall in love with a straight man, unfortunately, and get married, and we're very happy. But like, if I hadn't, let me tell you, a lavender marriage was on the table. Like, it was on the table. And I think that it's possible to have a very happy life if both of you are aware that you're in the lavender marriage and like entered into it with that understanding. But it's very clear that Eleanor entered into this without that understanding, and it has since become the truth. And like, that is, I think, a much tougher cross to bear. So then Nate comes in,
and he and Serena like run into each other, and they're immediately flirting, but it's just like so over Blair's head. Like, she just sees them as like brother sister vibes.
It's also sad because it's like she trusts them so much. Like, she doesn't for 1 second think that it's a possibility. She doesn't worry at all, which is just like, God, literally, this was 1 year ago that she was this happy and carefree in her house. We have literally never seen Blair like this again. Like, this is the only time we see her this way. And it's also just like, God, she trusted her best friends. She trusted her parents, her father, like all of these fucking people broke like her trust.
It shows how much and how quickly her world has completely changed.
In 1 year, all of these people let her down monumentally. And it's like, so you know what? No wonder she can be a fucking bitch. I'm here for it. Go for it, girl. But anyway, Blair's like, I don't want to leave my dad. Thanksgiving's like our thing. Can you go take care of Serena in the bath? And the other thing is like,
I understand that we just said like she trusts him so much, but I am still like, he's gonna go get her in the bath.
I know. No, I'm totally with you. So then we go to present day, and it's like such a stark comparison. It's like you could hear a pin drop at the Waldorf Thanksgiving. Blair's upset because she walks in and like there's catering. They're not cooking anything. And her dad's still not there. And she's confused because he didn't call her to say that he wasn't coming. And Eleanor goes, well, he has too much work, or Roman is too much work. And that's when we realize, like, officially that potentially they met also at the Thanksgiving last year and then fell in love.
Exactly.
Like,
whew. And then Blair like runs off and Dorota and Eleanor kind of exchange a look.
Yes. Eleanor goes, run along and change into something a little more enchanting. I just love it. Okay, so this is the scene where Dan deserves to be catapulted out of the Palace Hotel.
Is insane. Oh my God.
Lily's like, I don't feel good. I'm not going to go. I'm just going to stay home on Thanksgiving. She's reading a Nicholas Sparks novel. And then room service arrives. And Lily's freaking pissed because she ordered it to come after the kids left.
Serena goes,
early.
Serena goes, you're in the, sorry, this is the wrong.
No, get out. You're in the wrong room. She like practically like pushes the cart out of the door. She's like, get the fuck out. She's like, so like, immediately. We have plans. My mom's sick. You're going to make her have to roll up. Lily's like, I lied. Okay, I just don't want to go. And then Dan shows up.
Which,
in
by
Vanessa's
the way,
van.
like, it's so valid that Lily doesn't want to go even without the Rufus of it all.
Literally, that could have
Imagine,
no bearing on it. And I would be like,
this.
our mom would be like, you guys just go. Like, if we were having a situation where like we were home for Thanksgiving and we didn't have, and like whatever, first of all, she would have been like, we're still going to the Waldorf, so you don't get to decide that.
Exactly.
You and Blair can freaking figure it out. But number two, she'd be like, I'm not going. Like, you guys just go and have fun, and I'll see you later. So Dan sees that Lily Vanderwoodson is not dressed for dinner, which I'm also like, Dan, for all you know, this is what she was going to wear. She looks fine.
Bold choice of it. You're in a vest, bitch.
You shouldn't even notice what she's wearing, actually. That's cheating. Hey, Dan, you're cheating on Serena in front of her by commenting on what her mom's wearing. You even could tell she's wearing anything. Well, I guess the alternative would be naked. Dan has X-ray vision. Great. Dan has X-ray vision. This makes him even worse. We knew he was already Gossip Girl. We were like, that's a bummer. But X-ray vision? You freaking pig. You have a sister. You are a total freaking pig. I hope it turns off when you walk in the Humphrey loft. Oh my God. That is honestly, that's deplorable. Everyone's like, Chuck Bass is so bad. What? No one's talking about Dan's X-ray vision. Speaking of, stop checking me out at the airport, everybody. I go through that machine. It's like you see all my nooks and crannies. Don't look too long. Hey, you're looking a little too close, guy. Oh my God.
No, you can't pat me down.
You're lusting over me right now? You have to pat me. I'm married. No, you can't pat me. You can't snap my bra strap, perv. No, you can't touch my hair. There's nothing in there except a lot of product, which I'm sure you noticed and smelled, and you're probably great. My pheromones are working, aren't they? Oh, God, I knew I should have just dressed like I was going to visit a prison today when I came to the airport, so no one would be attracted to me. So none of you TSA agents would want to have raw dog sex with me. So anyway, so Dan has a really bold choice of attire. I wrote, like, okay.
Bold choice of words, my God.
Like, okay. And no, literally. Serena goes, Mom's sicked out. Okay. And then Dan goes, well, I'm not taking no for an answer. And Nicholas Sparks is hardly family. You need to be with family. I'm like, Dan, you're hardly family.
It's been months.
She could stay here, and actually her kids could stay here, and then she'd actually be with family. So chill. And I just don't like how Serena's like, she's like hot and bothered by Dan taking charge. I would be literally
I'd be so
mortified. I'd be like, great, now I'm going to be in trouble. I'm going to be in trouble because you came in here.
Now I don't have a boyfriend. Now I don't have a boyfriend.
Now I'm grounded because you spoke to my mom like this. So then she's like, okay, fine, I'm going to get ready. And here's the line, Phoebe, I'll let you take it. I couldn't believe my ears.
Okay, make it snappy.
No, that's not the way he said it. Make it snappy. I'm double parked.
You're right. It was so much worse.
It was so much worse. I'm like, hey, I don't care. I don't even want to go, Dan. I don't care if you're double parked.
That's
also,
on you.
why are you double parked? What are you drove here? Lily's going to be discussed. Lily Vanderwood's going to get in Vanessa's van.
Worse, Vanessa's brother's van.
van. You know, it smells like marijuana. I know that van smells like marijuana, but it's not Lily's first time in a van that smells like marijuana.
That's going to take
which
Lily
we are
back.
about to learn.
And so she's going to go. And then
she calls Rufus to like warn him, but he doesn't answer. And she explains in the voicemail, our kids don't know that we're friendly and I want to keep it that way. But then she goes, but I look forward to seeing you. I'm like, yikes. Oh, she wants to get her turkey basted.
Holy fuck. Caroline super slut Connell.
That just slipped out. Okay, that just literally slipped out.
Oh, great. That makes you even more of a slut.
You're right. Oh, yeah.
That was on the tip of your freaking
Finally,
tongue.
I get to be the slutty one. Phoebe's always a slutty one on the podcast, and everyone's like, Caroline, you take off your chastity belt for once. And I'm like, okay, Thanksgiving. Every Thanksgiving, I take off my chastity belt so I can make room for the freaking turkey.
My comment when I texted last week or 2 weeks ago when I was watching Tell Me Lies in the Situation Room, Lucy needs a muzzle and a chastity belt.
Yes, and a 24-hour round-the-clock therapist. No, don't give her handcuffs. Do not give that girl handcuffs. Yeah, she'll be like, this gives me ideas. I'm going to handcuff myself to Stephen DeMarco's penis. That's really what she'd do. Anyway, all right, so Blair's getting dressed. Dorota's helping her. By the way, I didn't really realize we have not gotten much Dorota yet in this whole season. And so this is kind of, this episode feels like a big one where we had that one episode with the Yale Day that we saw like her relationship with Blair, kind of, that she takes on this like motherly whatever, and now we see it kind of again, and it's like, wow, Dorota is the only motherfucker in this city that can handle Blair Waldorf. Like, she's actually honest with her.
That's so true. That's so true.
Blair's really upset because her dad didn't call, and Dorota's like, well, maybe you should call him because maybe he'll tell you the real story. And Blair's like, yikes. Burden. Yeah. Okay, then we go to arguably the worst Thanksgiving of them all, the Archibald Thanksgiving. Why are they all literally in suits? Like,
they
you're
look
just
like
with each
dolls,
other.
Like propped up in a chair. Also, Anne is literally in like an equestrian riding costume.
She looks like she's a pole in the back of her chair that she's like attached to. Like, she's like sitting up straight. And also, they're a turkey trot family, but they couldn't do it this year. So instead they did this. Like,
and
miserable.
Anne's pissed.
Oh, pissed. She's like, I can't eat this meal without burning. How am I going to burn off the calories? And I won't have a treadmill. She's like, I will not have a treadmill in my house.
It's fake.
It wouldn't go.
It doesn't count.
It wouldn't look good anywhere. No. She goes, if you're not born with a fast metabolism, then that's that. Actually, Anne Archibald doesn't work out because she's like, look, it's a sign of eliteness to just be born with a fast metabolism like me. That's what she would say. And by the way, we don't agree. Okay, so we're all in suits.
And Anne is like complaining, like she is just like lamenting about the day.
Anna's like complaining. It's like, seriously, Anne, what could be wrong right now?
It's literally called Thanksgiving.
It's Thanksgiving. How about some gratefulness, maybe? Jesus. She's pissed off because they were uninvited from the Waldorf Thanksgiving. She was asked to step down from the committee at the Snowflake Ball and the Lincoln Center Foundation, all because of Captain Archibald. But also, Anne, a little bit because of you. Because how much did your willingness to look the other way contribute to the situation we are in today?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And like Nate sees that. He bops her.
And Nate I am just like a little bit like, Nate, read the room. Nate goes, look, Mom, no one's angrier than me.
Nate, I would dare to say you don't even know the half of it.
I've been watching this dinner for 2 Mississippis, and I know there are people angrier than you.
They're just burying it very well. They're hiding it a little better than you.
Anne's not.
Well, I guess that's true. So then Nate's like, you were all for acting like nothing happened until it fell on you. And then the captain stops him and he's like, don't fight this fight for me, whatever. Nate gets pissed, leaves the table, says, I'm going anywhere but here. All right. See ya.
All right. Nomad. We go to the Humphrey loft and everybody arrives. First Dan comes in, followed by Serena, followed by Eric.
All
and
smiles.
Then Lily.
Oh God, a hush falls over the room and we are transported to last year at Thanksgiving, where Dan has come home and he has to explain why he doesn't have the pie. And he's like, well, I was saving a girl. And we have the most Humphrey exchange ever, because Allison goes, oh, did you hear that? Your brother just saved a girl. And Jenny goes, I thought you had to be near a girl for that to happen. And then Dan goes, not just any girl, the girl. Okay.
Like, why are we talking like this?
And Jenny goes, the blonde you stalk at school. And I'm like, no, literally stalks at school. You don't even know half of it, Jenny.
Mr. Gossip Girl.
Yes. And this is crazy.
Go ahead.
He said, sorry, were you going to do it?
No, go ahead. You have the line.
He goes, well, apparently I like the blondes who get drunk and almost run over on Thanksgiving. And then Allison goes, well, your dad liked them dangerous and troubled too.
Well, you were dangerous and troubled? And she's like, someone else.
Said I was talking about me.
Woo.
And Dan goes, well, I didn't realize there was anyone else. Boom, back in present time. Camera on Lily Vanderwoodson. Oh, there's the someone else.
I do just want to say, Dan, this is and like, I know most teenagers have a tough time realizing that their parents had lives before them. Mm-hmm. But you really didn't think Rufus
there was ever
didn't date anybody else?
I bet you know that Rufus and Allison were like, okay, let's get our freaking story straight. And they were just like, oh no, we've been together literally forever. Like we never, like, I wonder too, and I don't really remember like how much we learn about their origin story. And you know what sucks is we were so close to getting a spinoff about Lily Vanderwoodson played by Brittany Snow.
And I
think about this now. I literally am in mourning when I remember it. We're gonna get one episode, and it's like
Brittany.
Weird because it never like comes back up. But it's like I how about today we get the Rhodes sister spinoff? I would love that because
that would be epic.
Maybe it would tell us a little bit about the Rufus, like how that started and how like where did Allison come in? Because is there a world where like Allison and Rufus have known each other for a long time and like they, you know, Lily was like, I don't know, like she obviously there was a time where the three of them were all aware of each other in some way. So it's like I don't really remember like why though.
So the kids kind of go to get the table set and Rufus, Lily, and Allison are like, what the hell? And but Lily makes it clear that the kids don't know. I think you already said that.
Yeah, and Lily's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were. Allison goes, back? I am. And why would you know? Like why? Well, because as if you've been talking,
because
it's like,
our kids
Allison,
are dating.
You haven't been here, girl. Like you've been out of here. You've had no control over what's
and hey, by the way, you had an affair.
Exactly. You're the one who decided to leave. So like it's
she like
I get
makes
it.
herself the victim in every possible way, and it's like you are responsible for some of this.
Yes,
you were looking for an opportunity to make Rufus the bad guy,
right? And it's like and now you found it, but like you're still the bad guy, yeah. But they agree they're just gonna have a nice holiday. Again, Lily reminds them, don't share too much. I don't know. And Rufus goes, "Can you grab the mashed?" And then Allison and Lily both reach for it. I also hate the mashed. And they say it again later. Danae's like, Dan, can you pass the mashed
potatoes?
I hate it.
Finish your fucking sentence.
Pass the mashed potatoes. Pass the mashed potatoes. I don't like pass the mash. I'm saying it to you next year, though.
No.
Fee, can you pass the mash? No.
I'm not going to.
Oh, no. Don't. Please, Caroline. Wait, Caroline, seriously? Seriously, don't do that. Please don't. It'll ruin Thanksgiving if you say that.
I'm going to scream at you.
Fee, can you pass the mash? I'm out of here. I'm going anywhere but here. Phoebe gets up and leaves.
I press play. I've been waiting for this moment. Jason Derulo starts playing.
and then all of us go off and it's like, wait, this song started playing and everyone's fighting. It must happen everywhere. Anyway. Okay. So now we're at Blair's Thanksgiving. Waldorf. She's fucking furious at the table.
Blair confronts Eleanor at the table and she's like, how could you make me think that he didn't want to come and make him think that I didn't want him here?
Right. She says, did you call daddy and tell him I didn't want to see him? And we find out that yes, Eleanor literally did. She said, Blair's so mad at you for leaving. She doesn't want to see you. Don't come. And Eleanor says, when are you going to get it through your head? He left us. And Blair says, he didn't leave us. He left you.
Which I do think it's cutting, but it's also true. Like, Blair's the kid.
Okay, it's cutting. But I'm like, is it true? He did leave you both.
A little bit, but like, would he be there if Eleanor hadn't told him not to?
Eleanor shouldn't have said he left us. Like, to like, as if like he, like, don't like twist the knife. You know what I mean? Just like, it's bad enough. But in this moment, Eleanor is like acting like a kid because she's so hurt that she like can't also be the mom. You know what I mean?
And I think she's kind of jealous of Blair in a way that he still can have a relationship with her.
Exactly. Because she does know in her heart, like, yeah, well, he left me. And so then as a result, he had to leave you. And it's like, that's probably a lot of guilt too for her. Like, but it is at the end of the day, like they could have had a life here. And they chose to leave, but maybe that's easier for Eleanor if like they leave because then
they're not around,
people don't talk. You know what I mean? Like, because at this point, I don't think people know like what the actual story is. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But so then Eleanor says to Blair, "Eat or leave the table." And Blair says, "I told you I'm not hungry." And she gets up and the dessert arrives. And Eleanor's like, "Well, maybe the dessert will change your mind." This is
she says it in a way
like she knows
what's about to happen.
And I just am like, girl,
why'd you do that?
Big mistake, literally.
She says, like, "Where's Daddy's pie?"
Like the second Eleanor says it to her, Blair doesn't even have to. It's like Blair knows, "Where's Daddy's pie?" And Eleanor's like, "Oh, well, we had all these beautiful desserts from the caterers. We just sent that one down to the doorman. Like, it's fine. Choose one of those amazing desserts." And Blair, it's such a good look. She looks at her mother with the nastiest look you could give another person, picks up this massive overflowing like apple pie, looks at her mom and walks away with the whole thing. And it's almost like that's a moment where I feel like for Blair, like her mother could see her take an entire pie and be like, "Oh fuck, she's gonna go binge and purge." And like Blair knows that her mom's gonna think that, and Eleanor doesn't follow her. And like just thinking about that, I'm just like,
Blair goes into the kitchen, and I'm not trying to take away from how emotional this scene is, but I do just want to say, when she slams that pie onto the counter, it's clearly plastic, and it really bothers me. Like when she slams it down, it makes the complete wrong noise.
Like crusty flakes fly up in the air when you did that.
Like and I could like feel it in my hands like a prop.
Yeah.
Pie.
Although
like
it couldn't have been because she eats it.
Watch that scene again.
Okay, I will.
When she puts it, because then when it goes into the sink, it makes the right noise. I think that the Foley they did matches, but they didn't put any in this.
Yeah.
And it just sounds like she's like, it's just like plastic on the counter. And it's not as satisfying.
It's this crazy moment where she walks in and she doesn't say anything. And like there are people working in the kitchen. And Dorota looks at all of them and she's like, I'm a little bit like, "Dorota, why didn't you intervene also? Just stay, you know?" Yeah.
You could have
literally like
her
pacing around like it's like this crazy, like she doesn't even realize anyone's in there. Like she's so mad.
And we start getting these flashbacks to food and her eating.
All her little tiny bites she's taken this season.
And that night when she and Nate got sushi and she asked if she could have the rest of his sushi. And then we find out that later that night she went to the bathroom and made herself throw up.
In the restaurant.
Once Nate left, or when she left, she went into the bathroom. She
got up and went in, and we see her kneel down and whatever. And then we go back to the Humphreys. And Dan.
Well, she's also, while this is all happening, she's devouring.
Pie. She's eating huge, massive bites of this pie and crying. Like, oh my God, it's such a. And then she looks in the like refrigerator reflection and like sees herself, and she's just like.
I am like,
upset.
We couldn't have made her look better in the reflection. She like, it looks crazy.
Well, I think that might be the point. I
mean, like, it's not even like you can't even see your face. It's like,
well, you know what I used to wonder, and I don't now, but I used to wonder at that moment. I used to think, are they trying to make it look like the person she sees in the mirror is like really fat? Like, are they like, she doesn't, but like, I was like, are they trying to create it? Like, is that the goal that she looks in and she sees, but like,
she sees something
it's
different.
not. I don't think it is. It's just.
I think it's just the way the glass looked. As we go back to the Humphreys, and Dan is asking Lily about her life growing up and how holidays were. Allison,
Serena, turn your phone off.
Oh, wait, we're not there yet. That hasn't happened yet.
It's happening right now, I think.
Yes, but before that, we have Dan is asking, and Lily says, "Well, I grew up on a ranch." A small ranch, and Allison says,
well, Jenny goes, "I didn't know there were small ranches."
No, Allison says that.
No, Jenny says, "I didn't know there were small ranches," and Allison goes, "That's because there aren't."
Right, I forgot Caroline has this episode memorized.
Yeah, don't fucking text
except
me, but
she was willing to just bulldoze right over that moment.
Well, because I'm like, that's not as important as the next moment that they have together. But it's okay. You're right. It is important. It's all important. It's all important. Don't want anyone to feel like we're skimping on the Gossip Girl content. So, but Serena's phone rings, and I just am like, okay. And now Dan and Serena might be even, because what do you mean you're at this table and your phone is on the loudest ringer setting? And then she goes, I'm so rude, but I have to take this. I'm like, it's actually rude before you even took it. You've already interrupted the dinner. You might as well. And you might as well answer at the table. Sure.
Allison may as well have said, please. Yeah, speaker.
No, please. Be my guest. She would go, wow, I really thought on the Upper East Side we'd have more etiquette. Do you guys not read Emily Post? Anyway, we don't know who's on the phone, but we know who's on the phone. Mm-hmm. Except for there was a moment then when I was like, did I forget? And is it Nate?
I know. I think they wanted us to think that.
Yeah, I think so too.
But Serena says, I have to go.
I have to go.
And
then she goes and she hugs Lily and Lily goes, you're such a good friend. Like, for once. For freaking once.
And Allison asks if Lily should go with her.
Well, yeah, I'm like, you didn't get this Pretty Little Liars moment? Oh my God.
Rosewood. Yeah, I thought you meant like, yeah.
So Serena leaves. We go back to talking about the ranch that Lily grew up on, and they ask about her horses. And she said she had one named Rosewood. Oh my God.
Crazy. And
then Jenny goes, oh my God, our dad has a song named Rosewood. It's about my mom. It was her own personal scent, a mix of like rose and sandalwood. And Allison looks like she's seen a ghost. And she goes, I'm a fool.
Oh, and Rufus does say, low key, I'm not attracted to Rufus at all, but there was something about the way he said, you're not a fool.
You're not a fool.
That did it for me.
That made you want to have raw dog sex with him?
Okay, relax.
Just say it if it's the truth.
It's never.
Just Phoebe, let's try on a stage today on the pod. Phoebe's lying to you guys about a lot of stuff. I won't tell you what, but a lot of stuff. For example, again, I'll ask, what's going on in your apartment behind you? Phoebe, I can see the bodies piling up. I'm just like, I'm calling the police. Okay. Anyway, so then all the kids are like, what's going on? And Dan goes, raise your hand if you're over 30 and acting really weird right now, which is the equivalent of the later on Thanksgiving episode where Vanessa goes, what did she say? Rufus, have you ever heard of someone starting to make a brand new face at 19? It has the same energy as that. Raise your hand if you're over 30. And I'm like, and by the way, over 40.
Yeah, come on. So let's be real.
He like winks at Lily. He's like, raise your hand if you're over 30. And acting really weird right now.
And guys, the truth freaking comes out. The truth comes out that there's history here. And Allison leaves the table.
Gets up, says, I need to go anywhere but here. She leaves. She says, Rufus, don't follow me. But Dan does. And then Jenny, sweet little Jay with tears in her eyes. It is. Jenny looks so cute and like little girl in this episode. I just want to give her a big old hug. And then I remember what she's about to freaking become. And I'm like, get away from me, girl. Ah! Sorry, dropped everything.
Great. So Jenny and Eric also... They leave the table.
They love when we don't acknowledge it also. They're like, I like that when we get a comment that's like, did Caroline fall out of her chair at this time? And they include the timestamp. Because we don't mention it, we just keep going. And you leave it in.
So we go back to last year, and Nate is cleaning Serena up in the bathroom, and he's like obsessed with her. And
these lines are so good, though. Like,
you go for it. You smell like a brewery.
She goes, Blair's not the boss of me. And he goes, are you new here? Because Blair's the boss of all of us. Which
Blair's kind of the boss of all of us.
Why is that giving Anthony? And this is like, what, you know what's really sad here? As this is like, Blair thinks of them like Kelly and Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But Nate is like, and then Serena's just too unassuming for her own good eventually. And she's exactly too much of a drunk.
He goes, you smell like a brewery floor. And she goes, a brewery floor with a pinch of secondhand smoke? That's how she says it. I always loved how she said that. With a pinch of secondhand smoke? And then she goes, Blair is a bossy genius. And she starts getting him, and he goes, oh, I'm not the one who smells like an ashtray. And she says, but you look like an ashtray. And then they start squirting each other with water. And I was like, do you know how much trouble we would be in?
Caroline is like stressing. Caroline is stressing watching. She's like, oh my God, they're going to be in so much trouble.
You guys better stop, because let me tell you, it's not going to be a good day when the ceiling caves in. When the ceiling falls in because you guys got water everywhere.
On Thanksgiving dinner.
Look, it can happen, okay? It can freaking happen.
And Nate like pretends like he's like wrestling the thing out of her and is like kind of stern, and then he gets
Fakes her out.
and then
It's also
fakes
like,
her
okay,
out.
hot. Okay, he's strict. Okay. Wait, I love when people are like, oh, he's strict. Like, I love, or oh, she's strict. I love when they say that. Anyway, so then Blair walks in and they're like, oh shit. And it is like, why are you two acting like you just got caught?
But they do play it off because they like act like they're caught, and then they spray her, and it's just like the three friends having
and it's like,
a great
look
little
at
time.
these carefree kids who get to be carefree kids for a minute. For one
Exactly.
fucking Thanksgiving
It's
in their
refreshing.
lives. It's all going to come crashing down. And then we go to where
this
Blair
year.
is today.
No, we go to Nate. Nate is...
sorry, that's what I meant.
He is contemplating smoking a blunt, I guess, on the side of the road.
He's
and
like,
then
God, I can't be doing drugs right now. And there are also people all around him.
Addiction runs in the family.
Yeah, he's like, what am I doing? I don't want to be like my dad. I don't want to be like the captain.
He starts like stressingly unbuttoning his shirt. It's a Dare shirt underneath.
He's like, I need to call my sponsor. I can't.
It's Serena, and he goes through his phone, and again we haven't seen where Serena went, and we're like, oh fuck,
Yeah,
she's going to see
I was
Nate.
like, if she shows up here next to him and they share this blunt, I'm over it. I'm freaking can't. But no, thank God, no. But also, what did Chuck do today?
I was wondering this. I almost thought this was Chuck.
He's not
At
even
first.
on. Yeah, he's not even on Nate's short. Imagine this is the one scene we get of Chuck on Thanksgiving. It's just him sitting alone in the park, like sad, and then we just go back to everybody else.
And so Nate decides not to call Serena.
Yes. So Serena does show back up at Blair's, and we have this really
This line
sweet moment.
is so sad, and it's like
Oh my
how
God.
the scene with Allison and Hannah could have gone if Allison wasn't evil.
If Allison didn't
Because-
say, "Now finish the job," do it, coward. You know,
I can show you how to get rid of it.
I can show you how to get rid of it. Oh my God, exactly. Like, and it's like, Blair, who taught you? Who showed you?
And Blair
showed
on the
you?
bathroom floor saying, "I didn't mean to."
Oh my God, I didn't.
That,
mean
like,
for it to
breaks
happen.
my
It's just
heart.
like, oh my God, it's so sad.
And Serena knows just how to make her friend feel better. She goes, "I didn't see your dad down there."
But it is like cute. They're like sitting there on the floor together, and I mean, Leighton Meester's such a good actress. She's like fully, because she's got the look of her face that she's been crying. Like I'm like, it's
How
so
do you
good.
do that?
I know.
Do you just cry all day?
I think you do. I think you just like get, and I literally think you get in the headspace and then you start, and once you've been crying for a while.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
You don't have that luxury on stage, by the way. So if you ever see someone acting really well, really sad on stage, just remember that's real talent.
This is one take only.
This is one take only. Show must go on. So Blair explains, she's like, my mom just decides everything in the world is just totally up to her. And Serena's like, you know what? Let's get out of here.
Somewhere a little more
sane. And she goes, any place would qualify. And
you better count your freaking
see if you
blessings.
really mean that.
You better count your freaking blessings.
Exactly. So Allison and Dan are walking outside, and Dan goes, Mom, you were a badass. You threatened her with physical violence? And Allison goes, well, you know,
I was younger then.
Focused on turning my anger into art. You know,
And I had
wrote some
steel-toed
plays about
boots
her.
on.
Yeah. She's like, if only I still had my steel-toed
find
boots,
out
I would
that
have
Allison-
kicked her today.
Allison writes under the pen name Frida McFadden. Because she said
I wrote an entire series about her where she's a maid, where she gets to be a maid for once. Her name's Millie. Thought it was very clever. Her name's Millie. And then how pissed is she when Sydney Sweeney's cast in the adaptation? She's like, what? A hottie?
I mean, very clear she's homely.
And she's flat too. Anyway, she admits to Dan that Lily was
a full sex scene with Brendan Sklenar.
With this really hot guy who looks exactly like Rufus. Oh my God, what am I doing? Anyway, she admits to Dan that Lily was Rufus's first great love, and it's kind of hard to compete with that. And then we go back to the loft where Lily and Rufus are having a convo, and they're sort of like fighting about how Rufus didn't tell Lily about Allison and just like let her find out like this.
Well, I liked this line. She was like, how could you have let me be in this position? And he's just not like, there's so many things that I see and I'm like, this just didn't have to happen. Like,
Yeah.
Rufus, you should have had the foresight to hear Dan say Serena and Eric are coming and be like, I need to make sure that Lily is, if she's
right,
I need to make sure that she's either not coming or that she knows what she's getting herself into. And I also could have prepared Allison for this, because now Lily is the bad guy in the situation for those, in a way, in this moment. Lily is an outsider.
Yes,
and it's like
totally. She's
in a
the one who's like
position.
intruding on this moment and this marriage and all these things. And Rufus is like, I just don't know what I owe you. Like, I don't know what we are to each other. And then they decide to DTR. I'm like,
that's what I was gonna say.
Oh, look at us, 20. Hey, don't laugh like that ever again.
Caroline just said to her brain cells, hey guys,
Caroline from the future, don't ever laugh like that again. Sorry, I was just speaking into my.
Caroline carries around a tape recorder.
Okay, all my secrets, seriously, all my secrets, my haunted house and all this. We're just telling everything on the pod. Okay, well then, how about this secret? Phoebe is killing people in her apartment.
Oh my god. Caroline's like that character, and I never know what movie this is, but Dad always said it was like Me, but Caroline's like this, actually, with her tape recorder. There's a guy who carries around a tape recorder for his ideas, and one of them, I think.
And Dad said this like you?
Well, listen.
Of course he did.
He's like on a boat, and he goes, idea. Feed tuna fish mayonnaise.
Okay, never mind. Now I get it.
So it's
that
like,
is literally.
you don't have
I would bet we have a video that Phoebe made when she was a kid. She's whispering into the MacBook. It's 6 a.m. She's like, idea. Feed the hermit crab marshmallow fluff.
Wait, but what would the point of that be? What would the point of that be?
The hermit crabs are not only dead, but they're covered in marshmallow fluff, I think.
But what would the point of that be?
Phoebe's like, they're dead? What? I thought they would live forever if I did that. I guess I thought wrong. Let's have a funeral. Anyway,
that's why they call it a hypothesis. The reason you would feed a tuna fish mayonnaise is so you don't have to mix the mayonnaise into the tuna.
Oh, see, there was no reason for what you did to the hermit crabs.
That's what I'm saying. I knew you misunderstood the point.
You just did that, and that was kind of fucked up. Those were like all of our hermit crabs.
I saw a hermit crab in a clear shell the other day. Hate.
Why did we want those? We were like, please give me hermit crabs. And then I was like so scared to hold them. And they always escaped. How? And by the way, how? Were you like sneaking out in the middle of the night, like unscrewing the lid on their cage? Because how did they get out? We'd like find them places, like in our shoes and shit.
I didn't
ask Mom. The hermit crabs were escape artists, and they would get out and then we'd like find them places.
Well, they were definitely gymnasts, climbers. Alex
huge claws. But I was like, it is crazy. Like, why did we?
Every year we would get them.
Every year we get them
from that surf shop.
But then we had them one year and they lived a long time.
And we were like,
remember my frogs that I had?
Yeah, from school.
Did you have them too?
Huh?
Yeah. Anyway, I'll never forget when I saw my frog dead. The way that it was like just like bottom up in the pool in the thing. And I brought it swimming with me, and that's probably why I died. Just kidding. Anyway, okay, so he's telling Lily, you're one of my oldest friends, and she says, well, that's not how it felt when you kissed me at Eleanor's party. Boom, Allison walks in with Dan.
Perfect.
I'm like,
she freaking apparated.
I'm like, can we speak in code for once? Does nobody know Morse code? This is crazy.
And then Allison may as well say again, I'm a fool.
Literally, she's
don't
like,
call me. Don't come by my house.
Exactly.
We're done. We're finished.
Wait, what is this?
Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't know it. And I'm proud to say that. I don't know it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Live with a little whimsy. How about that?
Well, Phoebe, at a time like this, Nate walks back in his house where his dad, unconscious on the floor. Excuse me for not having a whole lot of whimsy when I talk about this serious moment. Fucking fair. Bitch. Anyway, he finds his dad unconscious on the floor. Dad, call 911. And so then they do. And then we go back to last year's Thanksgiving. And they're all back at the Waldorf place. And Blair's going to go help with mashed potatoes. Wasted. And also, still trying to add to it.
Also, who's that diva in the back? Did you see her?
No.
Little 11-year-old with her flip phone. In the couch.
Work, bitch.
In the couch, like little Blair, she's like
taking pictures and sending to Gossip Girl. She is? Oh my God, I need to go back and find that. So the captain is on the phone.
I wrote, who's this diva? My notes.
Captain's on the phone. He has to slip out to take care of something.
By the way,
Serena's
in Howard's shirt
with like a belt around it.
He says that shirt was made for you, diva.
I'm like, I bet you think diva. Yes, this episode just should have been called Diva.
He goes, Billboard.
No one's gonna get that joke because we weren't recording when we spoke for an hour and a half yesterday on mic. And then we weren't recording on purpose. I was like, God, it's gonna take forever to drag Phoebe out of this unhappy mood she's in. And then by the end of it, she was totally fine. I was like, well, now we're busy, so didn't. But it's like this. I thought it couldn't be done, and guess what, Caroline? Don't underestimate yourself. You can cure her of anything, except apparently her murderous tendencies. Okay, so anyway, it's just so funny. I gotta stick with it this whole episode. Okay. I know it's not the Halloween episode, but we didn't get a Halloween episode. So this is true. Halloween
it's one
episode.
Miss of this whole thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, Archibald has to leave, and Anne's pissed when we find out that Anne, like, she's like, I'll write you a check for whatever deal you're about to go make. Which
yeah, because he's like, I'm not going to get the commission if I'm not there to close it. And she goes, well, forget it. I'll write you a check myself. I think it's a really important
it's very
moment.
patronizing. But it
because also we find out
like,
later. Go ahead.
It's patronizing, and I sympathize with how that probably makes the captain feel. Mm-hmm. And not that gender roles matter, but it's probably also to this kind of guy super emasculating.
Well, yeah, they don't matter, but they don't matter now, and we know that. But it doesn't mean that they don't like apply. You know what I mean? Like,
but also she does kind of have a point. Like, well, you're at this Thanksgiving Day party with your family.
Yes,
you stay for dinner.
And like, I kind of think that it's not about a deal here. I think he's going to go buy drugs. That's
it's kind of like that part of once Skylar knows Walter is making drugs, and she's like goes through those periods of time where she's kind of okay with it.
Yes, yeah, no, exactly.
And she's like,
but this is not one of those times.
He's like ready to leave dinner, and she's like, I know he's going to fucking be the man who knocks, but yeah.
Did you finish it, by the way?
No, I have a couple episodes left.
Oh my God.
But I just watched the episode that Aaron Paul won his 3rd Emmy for.
Which one is that?
Confessions. It's the one where he's like gonna run away and change his identity, and then he decides not to. And then he finds out that Walter was the one that poisoned the kid. Mm-hmm. And he puts all the pieces together, and he goes and he's gonna burn down Walter's house.
Good dude, it gets so good.
He's such a good actor.
He's so good,
and Jesse, like,
not in enough.
No, he's not. He's so good. I mean, when the depth that he gave to that character, that
I know, he makes this like meth head drug dealer have a heart of gold. Like, you know what I mean? Where it's just like you are rooting for him over the chemistry teacher high school chemistry teacher with a son who has a disability and he has cancer. Like, which by all accounts, we should really feel for Walt, you know?
Well, in the beginning, then he starts acting like a fucking maniac.
Well, of course, but it's like that's what's so like crazy about the show is it's like, don't judge a book by its cover. Like, you think it's going to be the other
another
way.
Thing is crazy is like you're always rooting. I'm always rooting against Hank.
Which is, I know. Well,
even
again,
as much as I
Skylar,
hate
we're rooting
Walter,
against Hank and Skylar, and it's like these are the people who were like, can you just not be doing like?
Well, it's like when you watch The Traitors, and it's like, well, we are. If we didn't know who the traitors were, and we weren't getting to know them, and seeing all the moments with them,
I'd root for the faithful, but in any other.
But you're seeing, like, we're seeing everything Walter's going through, so you learn to root for him. Also, Hank just is unlikable.
Even though I'm not even rooting for Walter, I'm rooting for Jesse. Like, I'm in there just like a package deal. So it's.
But I hate at the end when Hank thinks he can use Jesse to take Walter down. I'm like, stop!
I know.
Stop pitting them against each other.
Wait, so what's going on with Hank right now?
Hank knows that Walter's Heisenberg.
Dude, you need to finish it this week.
I'm so excited.
And then you need to start Homeland. Chloe's watching it right now. She finally did it, and she's texting me like crazy.
Well, maybe I'll watch that. But
she's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it took me this long to watch this fucking show."
Is Better Call Saul good?
I couldn't really get into it.
Because I do like Saul
Yeah.
as a character.
But for me, it came out like a while after I was done with Breaking Bad. So maybe that's why I wasn't like...
It's longer than Breaking Bad.
And I never watched
6
El
seasons.
Camino either.
I don't know what that is.
It's a
What's that?
movie. A Breaking Bad movie.
Oh, whoa.
I never watched it.
Crazy.
Anyway,
all right.
We'll talk about it after because I don't want to spoil anything. But okay, so we're at the hospital with Anne and Nate, and Anne's like, "Oh, your father and his headaches. He probably took a Vicodin and forgot." And Nate goes, "Well, with what he took, he could have cured 30 headaches." And Anne is just so defensive. Like, she's like, feels like everything is being blamed on her. And she explains to Nate, she's like, "Look, he has," and I am like, Anne, yes, because she's like, he's never had to earn a dime. All he fucking had to do was put on a suit, sit behind a desk, and not get arrested. And he couldn't handle that. Like, if I'm Anne, I would literally, but it is like,
and it is
unfortunately
true.
his like fragile masculinity, like
Yeah, exactly.
that was part of the issue. Like that wasn't better for him.
Didn't realize that wasn't fulfilling to him, and it actually made him feel worse. So he was finding these illegal ways to overcompensate and to find a way to feel powerful.
I wonder if there's also a world where he was like he was trying really hard. He was like, well, I know that that's all I have to do, but what if I could also be good at this job and make these deals? And then he started embezzling, and then then the drugs started, and I guess that's why he was embezzling, maybe, is because he needed more. I don't know. Like, anyway, so Nate's like, well, I don't know what the answer is. And I'm like, Nate, you shouldn't have to come up with the answer. Again, you are the freaking little kid. And then we find out the captain's awake, and he stops his mom. He's like, I'm going to go check on him.
We go to the loft, and
bringing Blair to the loft is a crazy move.
I thought so too. And I'm shocked Blair wanted to come.
I know. That's how bad things are. And they walk right into Jenny's room, and Jenny goes, Blair. Jenny's like, Blair. She's so like, and
they're
Blair
talking,
goes,
but before they, that was so funny. They walk in and they interrupt a conversation that's like, wait, we're not related, right? Look at your roots, Eric.
She goes, they're kind of Rufus-y. I'm like, oh, great. So then they come in and they're kind of explaining to Serena, like, our parents used to date. Don't worry, we're not related. Eric says, ignore my roots. And Blair goes, you know what's really weird? There is a garage door in the middle of your room.
And then she goes, oh my God, is that Cedric?
Dan's like, in this day, I didn't think this day could get any fucking worse. And so Serena's like, you know what? Let's go out. Let's get out of this fucking penthouse. Let's go get something to eat.
Blair does also say, suddenly my family doesn't feel so bad.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, you guys are like going to be inbred? Okay, I'm in. So the adults are still fighting, and they're sort of talking. And Lily goes, because Allison's like, there's not really a difference between a physical affair and an emotional affair. And Lily goes, yes, there is. And emotional affairs are necessary to keep a marriage alive. And Allison goes, and how many times have you been married?
What Allison is trying to say is that what they did is the same. I don't think Lily and Rufus had an emotional affair. I think they barely did anything.
Well, from what we saw, like, I guess, yeah, if I'm Allison, it would make me uncomfortable. And I guess if I'm Rufus, I would know that it would make her uncomfortable. But also, given the circumstances, I don't really care. Like, what he's doing just isn't as bad. Like, it just isn't.
At all. And she wants it to be so badly.
Yes, exactly. And it's just
it's like when she heard that they had kissed, she was like, oh, this is my in. This is my ticket to make this, make him the bad guy. And
it's
like,
to be mad.
A man was like, answering your house phone.
Right, exactly. It's honestly, this episode, it feels like the theme of this episode is adults being unable to take accountability for like their shit. You know what I mean? Like that's sort of, and like how it affects their kids. Like that's honestly what we're seeing in this episode.
And then Allison tells Rufus, you got to make a choice.
Yeah.
It's me or her.
It's me or her. It's me or her. And if you want to make this work, you gotta choose. So the kids all go to a restaurant. They're all debriefing about the parents. They're eating sandwiches, and it's like this cute moment. They're honestly all really having like fun. It's giving the kids table at a fun Thanksgiving, you know, like, and it's cute because it's like all the different families that like never really, like they don't have that much in common, but it's Thanksgiving, so they're stuck together and whatever. So Lily shows up. She doesn't want to go home. She needs French fries. She asks the waiter for fries and to keep them coming. And then Dan and Jenny leave, and then Blair leaves too. And she is like, thank you, Serena. The sandwich was delicious, and I had fun. And it's like...
And she's calling her doctor tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'm calling Dr. Sherman tomorrow, yes. Which just, it is like, I just want Blair to be okay. Oh my God. And then Lily's wiping down the chairs and Serena goes, is that really necessary? From what I've heard, you've been in places far dirtier than this. And Serena loves it. She's like, tell me everything. Oh my God, I want to be just like you, Mom. Now I think you're cool again. Okay, who says moms aren't cool?
When they were, before
it's
Dan
giving
leaves,
who says the Humphreys aren't cool?
They're all, before Dan leaves, they're all like, he's telling everybody like, yeah, I used to like talk to my dad and he'd be like, you know, I used to date a girl a lot like Serena, which is another thing where I'm like, so Jenny, how did you not realize there wasn't anybody else?
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. That's a very good point. Exactly. She heard what she wanted to hear. It's kind of cute. Dan and Jenny like put Blair in the taxi. Like, I'm like, first of all, it's cute they waited for her. And two, Dan goes, see you later, Waldorf. And I'm like,
and also a parallel to the beginning when Blair is carting Serena into a cab.
She's sneering at him as she gets in the car. And then this time it's
how far we have come in a year.
How things change.
So Jenny is like, I shouldn't have asked Mom to come home. And it's like, yeah, bitch, crazy.
Correct. Big mistake. And they're like, it's just so weird. I think our parents had lives before us and before each other. And then they run into, I mean, in New York, that's why I love this freaking city. We can run into everybody.
Like, Rufus and Allison are walking down, like they are like pushing each other. They're like, they're like jumping around, skipping, they're tossing
literally
pigskin.
All Rufus had to do was like say, okay, Allison, I choose you. And she's like, all right. And we're going to snap back. And it's like, none of it ever happened. Let me tell you, for me, Thanksgiving's ruined. We're not playing football now. We're not having a scrimmage.
And they all kind of joke about last year's football game. And I'm like, wow, you guys were together last football. And the girls go ahead and then Dan and Rufus hang back.
Did you hear what Jenny said? Jenny goes, come on, Mom, let's go work on our plays. And that's how she said, let's go work on our plays.
She's so funny.
Goofy. Dan's mad at his dad for keeping it from him. And he's like, I think that might have like screwed up things with me and Serena a little bit. And he goes, you're a Humphrey man. No daughter of Lily's could resist. Like, okay, great. So Blair gets home. She finds her mom in the kitchen. And her mom's like, oh, I was like so worried about you. And she admits, she's like, I shouldn't have lied about your dad. And she pulls out this envelope and she's like, these are divorce papers and I'm supposed to sign them and I haven't yet. And Blair has to be like who Nate always has to be, you know, the parent here. She's like, Mom, he is living in Europe with a man.
She's like, you can't surprised he be wants that surprised.
Yeah, like,
and I actually really like this line. Eleanor says, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised about how it makes me feel. And it's this moment that I think is really important for Blair to see because Eleanor is so hard and like cold and not very emotional, openly at least. And so I think for Blair to see the effect that this has had on her mom gives her the opportunity to be more compassionate towards her.
Yes. It humanizes her in a major way.
Like, yes. And Blair's like, oh, this is hard for you too.
Yeah. Yes. And I think it's also like, it's tough because Blair sees her mother as this like savvy businesswoman and I'm Jenna Rink, big time magazine editor. I'm a tough bitch. She sees her mom as a tough bitch. And it's like that, you know, no kid wants to have to see their parent not that way. And no parent wants their kid to see them not that way either. Mm-hmm. But it's like, we understand also like why Blair is the way that she is. And like the Waldorf women are strong and they like whatever. So it's just like, to have this moment of admitting not a weakness, it's ultimately a strength, but yeah, that like something could make her feel, it's like, I feel like for Blair, it's like she sees her mom as this like unfeeling and it's also like, here's something that Eleanor didn't decide. Like she's like, my mom decides everything in the world. And it's like,
that's a good point.
Well, she didn't choose this. And it's a situation that you're both now in. And she goes, he was my herald for almost 20 years. And like, it is like, I mean, how devastating that would be. And she said, I couldn't face him during the holidays. It was always our happiest time. And I was really scared to let you choose between us because then I'd be entirely alone. And it's like, she knew, again, Blair's always going to choose her dad, you know, over her. And she's like,
but it does
I
feel
couldn't
like
lose
if
you.
That opportunity had happened. And I'm not comparing the actual personalities of these people, but I think when Kim opened up about this, it showed a really interesting thing about children of divorce.
Yeah.
Is like Kanye gets to be the fun parent in their brain. Like the kids idolize him and look up to him, and Kim has to be the bad guy, which is how
and shields all this stuff that they're gonna learn one day, and they're gonna realize, oh my God, our
and
mom
that's kind
was
of like if
keeping
Blair
us afloat.
did choose her dad and go to Paris, the
She would've
illusion would
realized.
fall really quickly.
Yes. And it's honestly like a gift that Eleanor gave Walter that she didn't let that happen. You know, like she protected him from that by letting Blair think that Eleanor's the bad guy here, you know, even though it's obvious what happened. And it's also like, you know, we see how Blair talks about this in the beginning of the season where she's like, yeah, well, she lost 15 pounds and got a facelift. It's been good for her, you know? And it's like, that's how they've been talking about it. And for us to actually get this moment where we pull back the curtain, and they hug and Eleanor like squeezes her even tighter. And when we see these mother-daughter moments between them, it just like really tugs at my heartstrings. So we go to the hospital. Nate's in the room with his dad. He's waking up and he's like, look, we're all going to be okay. But like, this is now an intervention. And he says, Dad, we're not doing this anymore. Okay. We're just not. I know it wasn't an accident.
He tries to say the same thing Anne said, which is
Yes.
like, I drank whiskey. I forgot I had taken my
Right. I
medicine.
forgot, like whatever. And Nate's just like, I'm over this. And then
he says to his dad,
him.
I thought you were dead. I found you and I thought my
Yes.
dad was dead on the floor.
Yes. And he's like, I need you to be honest. And he says, and I think this line is really key. He goes, it might not always seem like it, but we need you. Dad, we need you. And it's like that moment where it's like, yeah, like for the man of the house and this really powerful family to feel like they don't need him and they don't need him to go close that deal for commission because they're just going to write a check, you know, anyway. And like, he didn't need to do anything except sit behind a desk and pretend. And the truth is, it's like, it's not just about the business. Like Nate needs his dad. Nate wants his dad and they do need you. They might not need you for money, like, because they had Anne, but now like there are other things that you do that matter.
So we go last year and we see Nate leaving the Waldorfs and Lily and Eric come up looking for Serena and Lily says, oh, too much turkey because Serena is asleep in the chair.
Yes. And then we go to present day Vanderwoodsons and we start hearing Nolita Fairy Tale, the amazing, amazing song. And we get a montage of the Vanderwoodsons eating fries, which by the way, those fries look divine. They look so good. They kind of are giving Permanis fries, like on a really good day. They look slash Atrias, like a mix between the two. Yeah. So good. How much would you kill for an Atria's Kids Menu grilled cheese with the fries?
Oh my God.
I know. Sorry to even bring it up. So the fries look so good. And then we see, like, we go to the Waldorf's house a year ago and Blair sends the Vanderwoodsons in the elevator and the Waldorfs are now having tea and Walter is rubbing Eleanor's feet and it's like the three of them. And it's also just like, I don't always think of Blair as like a family person. And I guess it's just because we haven't gotten to see that because
she doesn't
Eleanor
get to be.
She hasn't been around.
Really
but it's
have
like
a family.
To see these moments where it's like, she just like loves being with her family. It's like, oh, it just kills.
And so then we go to present
these kids
day.
have to grow up.
Blair and Eleanor are having tea and biscuits on their own and they look like they're really having a good time. Then we go to last year at the Humphreys. Dan is like still out of it over this
is when
girl.
Jenny goes, Dan, pass the mash. And he takes a second to do it. And then Rufus goes, come on, Dan. The Humphrey family Thanksgiving is a well-oiled machine.
Still
Why does he like have a
girl?
transatlantic accent?
I kind of felt like Dan was about to say like he was out of it because this was right after Vanessa broke his heart or something. Like I thought we were going to circle back to that somehow.
No, still thinking about Serena. And then Jenny goes, well, maybe next year Serena will actually know your name. And Dan says something that would have gotten me hit. Just kidding. But it would have gotten me sent to my room. He goes, and then I'll actually have something to be thankful for.
That was crazy.
That's a crazy thing to say.
Insane.
Right?
Insane.
Oh my God.
And then we go to the present, playing football. The music gets louder. It is beautiful. If I liked this family, this would be a great scene.
It is so Montgomery coded.
Oh my God.
Even though like, yeah, the thought of that, they would never call it a pigskin, of course. Arya wouldn't allow that. But it is like, and I don't know that they're really playing football, but it's like this sentiment for some, they just feel so Montgomery to me. Like,
yes,
even the way they speak.
Like we're a dysfunctional family.
The Humphrey family Thanksgiving is a well-oiled machine. Like they always, the Humphreys, they always refer to themselves that way. It's always like, well, this is how we do things here. And it's
they just
like,
feel the same.
Yeah, they do. I don't know. Which is funny because she's a cousin of Vanessa. Maybe she's a cousin of the Humphreys, but that's how she met Vanessa. And she's like,
no, yeah, I think
were
that's
my
what we
cousin.
decided.
Oh, okay.
I think she's related to the Humphreys and like idolizes Vanessa, but they kind of have like a personality contest. Like they like don't really like each other.
Right. True. Okay. I'm going to look up the synopsis for next week.
I also love the idea of Arya coming to Thanksgiving and like kind of dropping to Vanessa that she is dating an older boy.
Oh.
And Vanessa being like, yeah, well, I'm dating a guy in a motorcycle gang.
So there. I think we're getting very close to meeting Georgina, by the way, which I literally cannot wait for.
I'm excited for that.
So next week's episode, everybody, season 1, episode 10. We've officially, after next week, we will have made it through 10 episodes of Gossip Girl. Are you enjoying it anymore, Phoebe?
Yes, I still miss my girls.
I know you miss your girls, but you know what I was thinking about and why I think that might be feeling that way is I realized for that show, you had already you were also like actively watching it, not taking notes, and you knew it so well that you didn't have to take notes as much. You know what I mean? And like,
I feel, and also
for this one, you're not watching for pleasure. Like
but I also think with Pretty Little Liars, they did 2 things. One, they had to spell everything out because it was such a convoluted plot.
Right.
And so it felt a little bit slower paced.
Yeah.
And it felt, taking notes, I felt like like when I watch Gossip Girl, I feel like I have to write every single line down because every line is important. Whereas with Pretty Little Liars, there was lines also it was just a little different.
There's a lot more to analyze with this show too, like get into. I feel like than with Pretty Little Liars, like these characters just feel a little bit like deeper, like.
Okay, relax.
No, not. I know you're
not too much,
but I just mean in the freeform versus CW way, like the issues, I guess, or whatever. But also the nuance, like you said, they spell everything out in Pretty Little Liars.
No, but not
with
in
this one.
I mean more because like the A plot of it, like the mystery of it, they spell out. But I do think we get a lot of interesting dynamics to analyze in that show between
you're 100%,
Hannah,
clearly.
And Alice, like everything like that. I think with this show it just feels faster. It feels like if we were watching Gilmore Girls, it would probably feel similar. Yeah. Because they speak so fast.
And it's so script heavy, yeah. I really I misspoke. Sorry, I did not mean to say that. This show's deeper. It's really also, not.
It's so like with this show, it's so scene to scene to scene, which were the episodes of Pretty Little Liars that we were always annoyed with.
Yes,
like true. We would always be like, oh, like we just it's going back and forth and back and forth. This it's like,
well, one thing I think will
quickly
help
in each place.
I'm not saying you need to do this, but one thing I've noticed is like when I do turn on Gossip Girl and just like watch it like in the background, I've started doing that. I feel like if I watch the episode like barely paying attention once and then later on I go to take notes, it feels like
maybe I should do that.
Yeah, because then I know like, is this actually important? Because like when you're watching it, you're like everything feels important. But then like for this episode, I was like, my notes aren't as detailed because I was kind of like, I know what like really matters in the episode, so it might help because then you could like kind of watch a little bit and enjoy it, and then you won't feel like as like you have to pause every second with.
That's true. I also just think other than Blair, these characters
they're not likable people. Yeah, that's true.
And that like and again like we did the show for 3.5 years, however long it was. We did Pretty Little Liars, so we had like a love for those characters, even Mona. And I think by the end of this, we already feel this way about Blair. Mona. But I think like Blair and Georgina, like there will be characters that we're
gonna feel that way about them, yeah.
But it's not gonna be as. I'm not gonna feel sad to say goodbye to Serena.
Maybe not, yeah.
Guys, I hate Serena's guts today, I guess.
You do, you totally do. Okay, next week Phoebe has to go put something in the oven. A human body? Okay, so next week's episode, season 1, episode 10, it's called High Society. As the debutante ball approaches, Serena is pushed to go when she learns that her grandmother will be there. Oh no, Cece. But her demands only create tension between the young lovers. Meanwhile, Blair agrees to go to the ball with Nate, but only as friends, which leads him to the assumption that she is seeing someone else. This episode is the one where we got a secret, can you keep it?
Ooh.
The Pierces
don't they play
perform.
Live?
Yes, they perform at the debutante ball. So there's something to look forward to. Look at that, you guys. We talked about Rosewood in this episode. Next week we get the song. Like, I mean, hello. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. If you missed our Patreon updates, we posted about them everywhere, so I don't know how you could, but it was also on last week's episode. But go check out our new Patreon structure. We would love to see you on there. If you do join, please message us, comment with your Instagram handle, whatever, so we can get you there. Loving all the Spotify comments on last week's episode. Keep it up, guys. And please don't forget, if you haven't already, or even if you have, go update it, to leave us a review, especially on Apple Podcasts. It really helps us out. Thank you guys so much for listening. We love you so much, and we will see you next week.
And Splat.
Wait, who are you rooting for the Super Bowl really quick?
Go Seahawks.
Go Seahawks. Okay, bye.